Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to your reading for the 22nd or the 23rd of November. Make sure to watch this around that time. So this is the full moon reading in Gemini for your sign. I'm not going to find out which sign we're reading for yet, but I'll just pick a random card from the Thoth deck. That's a very popular deck, and we're going to take a look first at the general energies with this beautiful deck here. Okay, so what we're looking at is a full moon in Gemini. The moon is at 0 degrees, only 52 minutes into the sign, and then the sun is actually in a very special conjunction, a very lucky moment when the sun creates a conjunction with Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius, and Jupiter is in rulership in Sagittarius, so this is going to be a very special moment for all of us. Your first card is the Four of Swords, so rest is needed, rest and recuperation. There's the King of Swords, who's a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, and the Ace of Swords. You're about to hear some very important information from someone who has been doing a lot of thinking about you. This person could be a sign such as a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, or this could be a sibling, or this could be anybody who has been doing a lot of kind of understanding or taking the time out to listen to your relationship and has taken some time away. So the way that you figure out who this person is, this person too has taken time away to reconsider their position, to consider their circumstances and your relationship, and I think you will hear from them soon. I don't think it's going to be a bad message because Jupiter is with the sun, so everybody is has the inclination to think positively and act positively. Okay, the sign we are reading for is Aries. Hi Aries, how are you doing today? I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Let's take a look at your chart. So this is your chart in which we see this Sun-Jupiter conjunction in your 9th house, the full moon in your 3rd house of communication. 3rd house has to do with communication, brothers and sisters, short distance travel, all those things. I want to bring your attention to one more thing. So there's a mystic rectangle here, and if you don't know what a mystic rectangle is, it's essentially a special geometric figure in the astrology chart that creates a certain type of energy. The energy that it creates is one of repetition and trying again. This really combines well with Mercury retrograde in the 9th house. The 9th house is the house of ideas, concepts, and thought in general, higher level thought. Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius tells me that you are now thinking back to things you have thought before and maybe changing some of your opinions about things, and this is a part of the energy that the mystic rectangle supports. Your south house just moved in here into Capricorn. It's a very karmic time for your public life and for your career, and the North Node is in Cancer in your 4th house of home, also having just moved in, and so the focus of your attention for the most part tends to be towards family issues and home issues as well. If you want to find out more about this Aries, I did a dedicated video for you guys for the nodes. That's located in the Aries playlist, so you may want to check that out too. Okay, so with the full moon we have this moment of exaltation in which, well, the Jupiter is exalted in Sagittarius, not exalted, it's in rulership, sorry. But Jupiter is in this very powerful position in Sagittarius, and then it's being brought up even higher with its conjunction with the sun. That combined energy is bringing some really type of significant movement or change into your house of communication. This means you will hear important communication and say important communication at this time. So this is something that may have not happened if there was a different astrological alignment. This is a person who you may think would have never said anything to you again. Maybe things got so out of whack or so out of control in your relationship that you never thought you would hear from them again. Maybe this is someone to do with your career, with whom you've had a very kind of difficult time, a karmic time. You know, when people say a karmic time, this is a time of karma in your career. So the consequences of the things that you have done and the things that you have done positively for others is all coming down through these transits. So very, very potent energy. I suspect that a lot will be influenced by your 10th house, by your house of career, Aries, for the next year and a half, 2 years. Okay, so this King of Swords to me seems like it's a person who you never thought you would hear from again, or you never thought things would pan out with them, but here they are. Let's take a look at the Bianco Nero Tarot. So we have the 3 of Wands, and then we have the 7 of Wands. This is a defense in a position, and the Page of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. A new direction with regard to a career. I think that you have set out a proposal towards something. You have set out your ideas. You have let other people know. You have been looking around to see where things can grow and where things can be successful. This is the full moon in communication, so especially if you've been sending out your resume, or if you've been communicating with people a lot, you've put out the energy in and you've been waiting for it to come back. And I feel like this idea that you have been working through and working around has been a big one, something quite significant, so much so that I think a lot of people haven't been listening to what you have to say, or haven't been listening to the things that you have been thinking of. And so I feel like this may be a person who is different than the rest. He is that person who hears your idea and sees some kind of validity in it, sees some kind of opportunity in it, and so they will be communicating with you. Now this can also be a referral of some type to another person, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn coming into your life for new business pursuits. We have the Eight of Cups. You almost walked away from thinking that this would work out, and you almost lost the situation because it was all about your territory. This was your idea, this concept, the thing that you were defending, your idea of how to handle a relationship. If this is a relationship, there were very strong boundaries that you had set out for yourself, and it led to kind of ultimatums, like either you take on all of this or you let it go. And I feel as though there was a real strong chance that something would have ended. This can also mean that a Scorpio person was in some way informing your confidence with regard to taking this path or this road. Now a new beginning has begun also, and I think it's to do with your career, and I think that integrating everything together is quite complicated and is baffling for you. On the bottom we have the Two of Swords, trying to make a decision about which road to go down, which road to take, and I feel like you're deliberating about which one is the right one for you at this time. So overall, I feel as though you are waiting quite a long time for something to stick. You've been trying in different directions, trying to make things work, communicating a lot. And the more effort that you have put in to doing this, the more chances you have of seeing a positive outcome. And I think that you are seeing some kind of outcome come through with this full moon. The Sun with the Jupiter conjunction is going to create a blast of positive energy and luck. So if it's time to switch something quickly, to change something, especially if it has to do with your career or with your home, then it's definitely a time for you to consider doing that. Okay, I do have the Whispers of Love. Even though your reading isn't overwhelmingly about romance and love, I do feel like maybe this is a love interest. So if in your situation the King of Swords is a love interest, this person it's a relationship that has been difficult to come together, and there have been many things that oppose its cohesion. And so this person has finally figured out a path because to reconcile everything, to make sense of everything, and to really put an end on having to defend or have to negotiate positions between you and the other person. So I think there's been a logical outcome that has been figured out in order to move forward and ahead, one that is mindful and that is balanced. Okay, here is the next message we have: practice compassion, see things from a different perspective. So I think that this may be an answer to some of the troubles that you have been facing. Maybe some of the things in terms of your career have felt very unfair for you. Maybe you feel that in some way you have been dealt a bad hand. And I feel like maybe some of this shift in consciousness about what has been happening for you is going to actually empower you to in some way approach these big planets, Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node. This is Vesta, it's an asteroid. But those 3 points, those 3 big points, approach them with a different mindset, maybe more of a learner's mindset, one that allows you to move forward. So we see the 8 of Swords here as your outcome card. You're still deliberating. The answer's not answered this week. But I do feel like you are making significant progress, and I think when you hear this communication, something new will begin, and therein you will find the solution. So it's going to be over the next few months or maybe next few weeks. The perfect key. So I feel like, exactly, so the King of Swords has figured out the riddle. It's like how to get you on board, how to fix a certain something, how to make your idea work. Somebody hears you out and they're able to kind of figure out how to make it work so that it works within the company that you work for, the relationship that you're involved in. So there's some kind of resolution, and someone may have even figured out how you can break apart from a job or break apart from a relationship that you have been in that is not working for you, you know. So if you're, whichever circumstance you find yourself in, I feel like there's like a clear and decisive answer, a key that's coming through that is going to reconcile a lot of the questions. I'll show you guys that card that's kind of peeking out at the bottom, because when they do that, I like to recognize them. This is the King of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This to me signifies that this Page of Pentacles is going to turn into a king. So if you have met an earth sign and there's a good connection there and you don't know if this is a good job or if this is a good potential relationship, I think that there's some indication here that there is a long legacy in front of you that will mature, and once you solve some of the interim problems and the roadblocks, you'll come to great outcomes with this. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye. Hey Sag, how's it going? Hopefully you guys are doing well. This is your Lenormand reading for November. I'm excited to be here with you guys, and this is the Dreaming Way Lenormand reading. So hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm reading, probably you should watch the YouTube readings for tarot first. Those are located in your playlist down below. But this is a standalone reading in and of itself, but some of the transits I'll talk about maybe if I need to are referenced in that video, okay? There's also a tarot card reading that's coming out for you guys. It's a Celtic cross, and your guys's was really, really good. Your first card is the Lilies. Okay, so sorry, the Lilies comes out this way in a funky sort of way. So I feel as though this is a month of maturity for you. This is a month in which you achieve a higher sense of how to achieve things in a positive way, how to achieve the things that you want, how to hold your head high and move forward in the directions that are available to you. The next message is we have the cross, and so I feel as though some of these things have become quite heavy burdens. They have become quite heavy responsibilities that you are attached to or that you have to resolve. I feel as though you have been committing yourself to the things. You really want to see them forward. But as I said in the tarot reading, it seems as though you are in some way being released from a responsibility towards something. You're being released from a responsibility towards something because of something that happens to those people, to that situation. So it's like you've promised to help out a small business, but they've grown and now they've hired on somebody full-time, and so now you don't have to help anymore, and it's been inconvenient for you for the last 6 months anyway, something like that. So you're being absolved of your responsibility, but also there's a fair bit of there's a fair bit of emphasis on responsibility as well. Here is the next message. We have the stork. So I feel like you are, and that's allowing you to take a change in direction. So change direction, trying new things, opening up some kind of new availability for yourself in a new direction. New relationships become available. I think you're beginning this new stage of life with a sense of maturity. So you're no longer going by in some kind of old way that you had handled things. You are now going forward in this kind of evolved, consciously aware energy. So you're looking at your life and you're like, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to do that. The next message is the sun. And so I just think that you are inspired a lot this month. There's a huge sense of creative inspiration, not to make art or something for your life. You see something and you see the possibilities. You have a interaction. You have the confidence and feeling of being self-assured that you know that you can steer the relationship in a direction that is self-satisfying for you. The next message is we have the choices or the paths. You will be making a very critical decision about a relationship with an older person. You will choose whether to continue in this relationship or not. And I feel like the decisive point will be actually their position in your life as a part of your life goals. Are they contributing to your life goals? Are they a detriment? So for example, if you're talking to someone every day, are they actually taking away from, you going towards your goals? Instead of wasting time talking to someone, maybe you should be spending time on something else. Conversely, maybe these conversations are formative and they're helping you know which way to go. So that's where the decision making actually is, whether this person is a contribution. The emphasis is your goals this month. So the next message is the moon. I feel like you're really drawn into the spotlight. I think that you're very much motivated towards the spotlight and inspired to go into it. I think you want to be recognized for the things that you bring into life. And I feel like people are approaching you as if though you were a celebrity. Even if in your office, they're coming up to you and they're like, wow, like moon face, amazing, amazing person. The next message is the child. So I feel as though there is a sense of purpose that has to do with your children or your desire to have children, or possibly bringing youth into your life again. So I think that one of the main themes for your life at this time is to bring excitement, hope, and promise around more often. There's big financial goals that you are currently embracing, and you'll feel this in November. For the first time, you'll really feel the push of really wanting to assure financial success. This is going to be a 2 to 3 year transit in your chart, so be prepared. It's going to be bountiful. But I feel like there's this also desire to bring passion and love and happiness around you all the time, just like the feeling you had when you were a child, okay? The next message is the bouquet. I feel as though you will make a choice that will yield for you good outcomes. So when you're making a decision of this commitment issue I talked about in the tarot reading, that you will be making the decision that will yield for you plentiful outcomes, bounty, promise, and hope, joy. The next message is the letter, and I feel like there will be communication at the end of the month. One of the big themes that I've seen for November for you guys, Sag, is that by the end of the month, you will be coming up into an energy that will kind of let you do what you need to do. Up until that time, you'll be spinning your wheels. And I feel like this is kind of answering that question. So I think that you don't need to worry about making certain decisions earlier in the month. I think you have to wait for this energy to come through in order to really put those moves in motion. And then we have the ring, which is the commitment card. So maybe you're making a decision on the relationship. If you go to the tarot reading, just the Celtic cross reading, then I feel like you will see what this decision's all about. I think that that's the focus on the relationship in that reading. And if you want a general overview, then go to the tarot and astrology. But yeah, it looks a beautiful month. Just don't stress out so much about this decision. I know it's coming up, but it'll be literally in the last few days of November that you'll be really prepared to make it. And the reason you'll be prepared to make it is new information will come in that will really seal the deal for you, okay? So don't worry before then. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your month. It's your birthday. And then we have also Jupiter in your first house for the next year and a month. So amazing stuff. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to this reading for September 6th. I'm excited to be here with you guys and we're going to see what sign we're reading for. So we're reading for, what is this? Is this Virgo? I think it's Virgo. Hey girl, hey, how's it going? You guys already know, but I'm surprised. Okay. I am here at the right time. This has been my mantra all year. It's like, the time is now. I always say that. The work I am doing on myself is a lifetime process. It doesn't matter how much time it takes because I have all the time in the world. It's not only that, it's like if you want to do something, just do it. Just do it. Okay, so let's switch over to Virgo. I'm excited. Hey girl, hey, you guys knew, but I didn't know. I'm being surprised. Okay, so here's our cards. Let's look at the Astro Wheel. I call it my Astro Wheel. Okay, so before I lay down cards like this is where it's all going down in Funky Town, 5th house. So 5th house is the romance house, and Saturn in the 5th house isn't such a romance hit, but it's actually okay because of Pluto. So it's like it's balancing out that Pluto energy quite nice. So for the next 2 years, it is going to still be a little bit more dry, sorry, but also you'll get all the bad crap out of your life, which is also very necessary, right? Mars is moving direct this week, and on the 10th moves into Aquarius, so you're going to have a big push. Maybe something romantic will happen. Neptune is in your 7th house of partnership. The sun is in our 1st house. Happy birthday. Hey girl, hey. Ceres, this is the goddess of cereal, right? Nourishment. Very, very August related, September related asteroid. So all of this stuff is going on, and even the North Node is now moving into the 11th house over the next couple months, which means that things will be kind of more upbeat socially, whereas before maybe it was a little bit more quiet. I have to say, as a Virgo Leo, hey girl, hey, I did notice that maybe fewer but maybe better relationships have evolved, so I'm super stoked for that. I feel like I have so many good people around me, and it's just really, really good people. Do you know what just showed up? I'll show you this. The sun in Scorpio, 6 of hearts. Hey girl, hey. Just popped up. But let's pick 6 cards, and I'm going to let you guys pick while I show you your romance angel, okay? So this is like a card pick, which means that you can kind of appoint each card its due. I'm reading it all together, but for some of you this may be helpful in terms of like maybe a situation you're wondering about or something like that this week, okay? So now let's take a look at your romance angels. Before I do that, I want to tell you one thing because I'll forget. So over here is the buy all option on the Vimeo. Each of these cards I'll clarify with 3 cards, and then I'll do a Lenormand draw on Vimeo this week. So those videos are in your September playlist, and what I've noticed is that people are purchasing them individually, which is way more expensive than getting the whole lot. And what it seems like to me is that people are buying every day. They're buying the single rather than getting one whole thing for the entire thing, for the entire month. So I think that you're better off doing that than renting every day. But it's up to you. I just wanted to point it out in case you don't know about it. The way I figured it out is from certain countries, it looks like from Greece, for example, it's like rental, rental, rental. It's like, no, just get it all together. So if you're in Greece and getting all these videos, thank you. And now you can just get them all. And unfortunately, Vimeo is the vendor, so I can't help you go back now. But I hope you don't mind me having the cash. Hey, girl, hey. Okay, so let's see next. So we have, ooh, okay, so this is the Seneschal. This is like a record keeper, okay? So this is the Knight of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Somebody's coming through with a strong energy. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive faith and positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So don't be shy, Virgo. Don't be the shy Virgo. Really stand up for yourself. So now let's look at your 6 cards and we'll finish off with an angel message at the end. So your first card is, ooh, you've got the Chariot, the Path, and this is also called Exploration. This card is ruled by the sign of Cancer. So it seems as though you're moving past certain hang-ups and difficult situations that you felt maybe wronged by, or that you feel like they are difficult for you to deal with. The next message is the 10 of Hearts. This is coming up for a lot of people, which makes me so happy. The 10 of Hearts is culmination. It's fulfillment of whatever it is that you want. It's the loving family, the loving relationship, the loving loving that is all around you at this time. You may be in a relationship with a Cancer. You could be in a relationship with an earth sign as well, sun, moon, or rising. And so in some way I feel as though that's really deeply resonant for you at this time. The next message is everywhere. This is such a curious cat. He's everywhere, or she is everywhere. Page of Stars, curiosity. So this is a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, sun, moon, and rising. They have their little paws in everything. They really do. They're sneaky deaky, and they kind of stick their nose in everybody's business. Not to necessarily do damage, but imagine leaving a little cat like this, or a little leopard like this, in a room by itself. It's going to tear that room apart. So maybe it doesn't mean to be reckless, but I think that the cause of that will be a little bit of a disruption in your life. Where is Aquarius in your chart? In the 6th house. So daily activity, daily moments of madness on the docket for Virgo for the next 2 to 3 months. But it depends on how you handle it. But yeah, definitely a part of the scene. Let's see your next card. We have the Queen of Trees, the Nurturer, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. So I feel like maybe in some way you're growing into yourself and you're feeling stronger than ever. There's love in your life. Let's see the next message. And we see the Ace of Stars, the Ace of Wands. Hey girl, hey. So, hey, hey. So there may be some type of new spiritual, somebody is putting forward some type of initiation. Remember, we have at the right time. So somebody's trying to initiate something of a positive nature to break through the barrier of coldness and withdrawal. Here is the next message. We have the Sagittarius again. See, look at this. Intuitively understanding and helpful and kind. And I feel like in some way this will be a fusion of energy. Such good energy. I think good things are coming to you, and I don't think you really even know how good things can be. And so I think it's time for you to believe that this is the right time and there will be a good outcome in situations. I think you're being watched out for. I think you're being protected. And I think that people are paying attention to everything that's going on. There could be a new beginning in a relationship for you if you choose to open your heart. Now listen, this could be a friendship as well, so it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but for many of you it's going to involve a little sexuality. So hey girl, hey. Let's take a look at your next message. We have the responsibility. I hope that you're not, well, maybe you're feeling mutual responsibility between people towards each other to keep the mood elevated and rockin', maybe something like that. I hope that you guys enjoyed the reading. I know it's like a little bit of insight here and there. I feel as though maybe you're falling in love, or there's definitely a love vibe around you, and I think that maybe you're going to hear about it this week. Definitely you're going to hear about it when you least expect it. Okay, anyway, I hope that you guys are doing well, and check out the Vimeo, as I said, for the clarifier, 3 cards each, and then we're going to do a little Lenormand. So I'm excited to do that with you, Virgo. Bye. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to my pick a card. This is an all signs pick a card. And so basically the way this works is you choose a number 1 through 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what we're going to tell you today is a sign that is how they feel about you. This could be a love situation, a soulmate situation, or a twin flame situation. And if you're asking about a specific sign, like if you're thinking about a Cancer and you want to find out, what I'll do for you guys is in the description box down below, I'll actually leave the key for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the sign that corresponds to it if you want to just jump to that. But it's not going to be a spoiler in the comments. It's going to be in the description box today, so that if you want to find out Cancer, then I'll tell you where Cancer is, so you can just watch the Cancer part, okay? Make sure to comment the video and like. If we get up to 500 likes in the first day, then I will do another reading in the evening, so that's exciting. And then if you guys want to comment and like after the video has been posted a few days, those comments and likes really help as well. So please help support the channel, help it grow. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining me. And if we're gonna find out what sign thinks what about you, and it's going to be corresponding with the zodiac sign. So we're going to start with number 1. So hi number 1s, if you chose number 1, first things first, please comment, like, subscribe. Okay, so we're gonna choose some cards here, and your first message is, so you have the 5 of Stars. I'm gonna pick 3 and then tell you what it means. The 8 of Angels, okay, and then we're gonna have the Page of Angels. So I feel as though there has been trying to find a solution on how to say something. I think that this person has very mixed feelings towards you. I feel like this person has very kind of mixed up kind of intentions. They don't know exactly which intentions to align with or which intentions are most important, okay? And I think that they're trying to find a solution, and I think that they will. I think that they will find how to say what they're thinking about. It's just putting kind of words to thoughts at this point. The next message is we have the Tower. Something's really drastically changed, either for you or for them or within the relationship. There's been a very drastic shift and transformation, and there may have been like a quick series of events in which you had to move or change or redirect yourself. Next we have the 2 of Hearts. Whenever you get the Tower with the 2 of Hearts, this can be love at first sight. And then the Knight of Stars, the Adventurer. This is a Knight of Wands, somebody coming and going really quickly out of someone's life. So I feel as though there could have been like a very intense event that happened that caused a deeper connection between people. And this could involve this Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising person. But I feel as though there is trying to address an issue that feels super overwhelming, and then trying to bond with someone and articulate what's going on. If this person has been absent in your life, I feel as though they're going to show up once they know what to say. And the sign corresponding to this is Gemini. So I feel like this person could be actually turning to someone else who's a Sag, Leo, or Aries for support, or this could be all concerning a Gemini, like the Tower and all of that could be concerning a Gemini. Let's take a look at your 4 cards. We have the Child. We have, this is a Lenormand deck. We have the Cross. You have the Ring and the Child again. So I feel like I'm not sure if this is an issue of maturity where people feel as though they're still too young to move forward on a situation. But it's almost like being too youthful and considering commitment. And maybe both people are still very young, and so maybe the responsibility of the commitment seems overwhelming, and so there's this struggle of consciousness within and between the relationship about like committing to things like family and children. They want to do it, but it seems as though it's something that is outside of their scope of ability, and it's an ability issue. Okay, so the Gemini could be an influence, or it could be the specific person that you are thinking of. But there's a Gemini who's involved, and also a Knight of Stars, a Gemini, Aquarius, a Sag, Leo, or Aries. This Page of Angels could be a Gemini, a Sun, Moon, or Rising. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the Gemini who's picked this. But it definitely looks like there has been some kind of turmoil. And I think that there's this kind of overwhelming feeling here. The overwhelming feeling basically is that it's just too much. It's just too much responsibility for somebody at this time. So here is the next message. We have, oh shit, we saw, okay, Sag, sorry. Number 2 is Sag. We're not going to start again. I have to stop myself from doing that. So if you chose 2, there's a Sag who's involved, and this is how they feel about you, or this is a person of influence in the situation. So we have the Knight of Angels, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, a Knight of Trees, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and 7 of Angels. So I feel as though this feels like an exit strategy to me. It feels as though that there has been people who have had their fingers into other people's situations. So the Sag could be a part of this energy. Whoever is the person that you are thinking about, I feel like there's a lot of men involved, and they've all, maybe even for altruistic reasons, they've wanted to be involved, but they're actually causing a lot of bad consequences. Too nosy, too involved in other people's situations, and they're causing a mess, and then they have been trying to solve it for a while now, and it's been making it worse and worse and worse. One of the cards that just popped up is the Sun. So I feel as though there is good energy coming into this situation. I think that they just need to stop trying to be involved and start backing off and doing their own thing. The next message is the 10 of Angels. So this is Sun in Gemini. And so the 10 of Angels can mean that things really need to be put away in this situation. Things really need to be, and then the 9 of Trees, really need to be left in the past. The past is in the past. Stop bringing it into the present. And so maybe this person feels this way. If you're the person who's involved in this trifecta of influence, then I think you should try to allow things to happen more organically and naturally. For Lenormand cards, we have the Child, we have the Ring. Let me shuffle so it's not a repeat of the previous one. We have the Rider, okay? And then we have the Child again. So again, this is maybe someone else who's coming into a situation. Again, very youthful energy. It's I'm reading on a full moon in Aries. This is a timeless reading, which means you can watch it anytime. But Aries is the youngest sign of the zodiac, so maybe this is why we're getting all the kids. I feel as though there is kind of new energy coming in. You're placed in new circumstances. There are new commitments available to you at this time, and I think you're moving towards more new things. Maybe there is a push towards having children with someone. Maybe there is a push towards kind of setting someone up for a situation in which they'll have kids. But I feel like that's probably for a very small percentage of you. For the most part, this is about a situation in which other people got involved, and and they meddled in a situation that wasn't theirs. And I feel as though it wasn't for malicious reasons. I think that they were just being overstepping boundaries, and I feel like they've made a mess of it. And hopefully before they make too big a mess, before this turns into a tower situation, I hope they back off and leave, you know. So there's this kind of meddling that's going on here that is completely a big waste of time, and I feel like it's not going anywhere. But I think ultimately, with some careful steps forward, I feel like the situation has a positive outcome. This is the Nine of Pentacles, so there is this positive outcome or opportunity in this circumstance. Okay, so that's how they feel about you, or this is how they've been acting, and they've been meddling pretty much. Okay, so here we go. So number 3, I'm not going to show you guys the sign. Let's see how many I mix up this time around. Can you guys please give a like and a comment? Thank you so much. For those of you who have just jumped in, sorry to have to repeat myself, but some people just jump into specific numbers. Okay, so let's see your cards. So you have the 10 of Trees, the Loyalty card. Okay, this is the 10 of Pentacles, and then we have the Page of Hearts, a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, Innocence, and then we have the 3 of Hearts. So I feel as though this is really beautiful. Whoever you're thinking about, their heart is opening up to you. I always laugh because you guys are my little goldfish. I don't know if any OGs are here, and this is surrounded by little goldfish. So I feel like this is the heart opening up towards something good and welcoming in a good direction in life, happiness and joy. And it calls for celebration. There's a certain degree of celebration here, and there's a certain degree of comfort in the circumstance. Trust has been proven in this relationship, and I think that people are opening up and they're really connecting on a deep level. Here is the next message, and we have the Leo card. So there might be a Leo involved. If it's not the person, then we're talking about the sign of Leo, which is technically the solar plexus. It's also the seat of desire. So I think that if you're dealing with a Leo, bang on, sun, moon, and rising. But if you're not dealing with a Leo, then what this is pointing to is that there's this natural desire in this situation towards openness, trust, communion, coming together. Here is 3 cards for you. We have the Turnaround, which is the Revolution, and then we have the Universe, which is the Expansion card, and then we have the 2 of Angels. So I feel like there is a energy here that the love persists regardless of what has happened. That's what their feelings are, and I think they feel as though this relationship is continuing to grow, and whatever it seems as though there was a minor issue between the 2 of you, and I feel like they don't even think that it is an issue, that it's just something that is a part of relationships that happens sometimes between people. So I feel like you shouldn't sweat the small stuff on this one. I feel like the love persists, and in fact I think it's actually growing, and there's a deeper interconnection between people. For Lenormand cards, we have the Sky. Something really ended quickly and abruptly, and then we have the Man, and then we have the Tower. So I think that something in the past did indeed end. Something really changed between people, and I think that there was a quick move forward. The Tower in this deck is not like the Tower in the tarot. So we're talking about big business. We're talking about successful business. A happiness, a very matter-of-fact move forward. I think that things are continuing to blossom and prosper and grow, and I think that there will continue to be mutual support, friendship, and admiration in this direction for you. So if you're not dealing with a Leo, then you're taking on this. There might be a Leo involved who's guiding this situation, but it's all about trust in this circumstance. And if you are reading for Leo, then this person loves you very much. Leos are very, very loyal. I'm a Leo Virgo, and you know, I'm very, very loyal. They're very loyal sign, and so they even at their own like social peril, which is a big thing for Leo, how their social standing and all that stuff is very important in Leo language, love language, social language. So they'll even sacrifice that in order to be very thorough with their friends. They really put their money where their mouth is. So next we have number 4. Let's take a look at this sign. So if you chose number 4, here are your first 3 cards. So we have the Force, the Strength card, which represents the sign of Leo. So this is a passionate connection, passionate way forward, connected with the solar plexus, about the ego, your desire, and your drives. Then we have the Universe card, which represents the World card in normal tarot decks. It's called the Expansion card. So I feel as though this person feels like there is a great desire. There's not a lot of thinking here. There's a lot of just, I want to do this. I'm going to do this now. And then you have the 9 of Angels. So I feel as though you're going to hit a wall with this person in some way. It's not to do with anything that's happening now. It's going to start really fast and be really intense, and continue to be intense if you've already started. But I feel like there is also a level of, there's something that one of the people are dealing with that's a really heavy burden that's going to prevent the continuation of this indefinitely for now. And so there'll be this situation that comes up in which there will be like a sharing of experience, and there will have to be healing in order to bring this situation together. The next message is the Page of Trees. So this is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. There's a new project that has started around this relationship, and I feel like this relationship in some way is kind of the engine that is pushing this idea forward. I forgot to tell you what sign we're reading for. So this is for Virgo. Okay, so I feel like there's a new project. Another card that just came out is the 7 of Stars. This is Mars in Leo, faith. So I feel like there's a lot of energy behind this situation. There's a lot of energy and momentum behind the ideas that drive this circumstance, and I think that the Virgo is very committed to it. If you're not dealing with a Virgo, this is a steady and pragmatic energy of Virgo between you and this person, and they feel as though this is a worthwhile situation to work your way through, even though there have been very hurtful feelings in the past, and maybe not even within the relationship. I almost feel like there are situations that are to do with external circumstances that are very much boggling down one or both individuals. And the next message is the Emperor, the Father. So I feel as though there will be a continual drive. I don't think you're going to get deterred in this situation, whether you're dealing with a Virgo or not, whether you're dealing with a Leo or an Aries, or whatever sign you're dealing with, an earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. There's going to be a continual commitment towards, that person will feel a continual commitment towards building something stable, whether it's the project or your relationship, however that comes together. There's this kind of commitment towards a stable outcome. Okay, so here are 4 Lenormand cards for you guys. We have the Woman, we have another woman, 2 women, oh, and then we have the Dog, which is, okay, there's a friendship between 2 women. Let's see what that is. And one of the women is a fox. So there's this kind of tentative friendship that's going on here. Now, this could be a relationship between 2 women, or there could be this situation that involves 2 women in which there is, you know, second parties going on. And I feel as though there is a really deep sense of friendship, but there's also this cunning, like watching out for number one. You know, it's like friendship between 2 criminals. You know, they'll only be friends as long as, even though they may have deep feelings for each other, it's like one of them might be playing for number one a little too hard. So I feel like maybe at the end of the day, this has to be clarified, and maybe this is what is causing all the frustration, where, you know, it's like, how can you be friends with somebody who is ready to stab you in the back, you know, at any point in time. It's just very hard. And so I think that there's one person who's really altruistically a friend and one person who is quite cunning. But the fox will protect the dog too, right? Like that's the other part. It's there's this level of protection here that well, as long as things are not conflict of interest, there's no conflict of interest, the fox will protect the person who's being altruistic. You just don't want to be the dog and then come into conflict with the fox, because then you're gonna get worked over. But I feel like that's the tenuous feelings in the situation. It's like there's so much going on here, so much success available, that it seems as though there is like this kind of wasteful energy. But you can't win in this type of energy, to be honest. I mean, if somebody is playing that way, at some point you're going to get burned. That's the bottom line. At some point they're going to do something or say something that is going to be harsh. And hopefully it's not the Virgo, because I'd like to think Virgos aren't that way, but they may be. Or maybe a Virgo told you about it. Maybe this is me telling you guys about it because I'm a Virgo. So this is, you know, maybe the Virgo energy. But I think that's how they feel about you. I feel like they understand, just like you do, that this is a situation in which there is this kind of one person super like innocent and the other person has more up their sleeve, you know? So here is number 5. Okay, so let's take a look at 5. If you chose number 5, here's your cards. How do they feel about you? 7 of Angels, okay? They don't know what to say yet. They haven't come to a conclusion yet. The Ace of Trees, they want a new beginning, and I think that they're really attracted to you on a physical level. And then there is Divine Order, Equilibrium. So I feel like they're going to find the right balance between the attraction, the other parts of your character, your personality. I don't think they really know what to think about it yet. The sign we're talking about is Aries. So I think that they're interested in you on a physical level at this point, and they're working out how to bring balance into the rest of the relationship. If this is not an Aries, if you're not dealing with an Aries, then this is Aries like energy. Aries rushes into things, you know, they just really intuitively move towards people and situations. So they have to kind of sometimes backtrack and rethink, like, wait a minute, is this the right thing for me? The next message is the Emperor. So there's this is Aries, ruled by Aries. So there's this natural feeling of, you know, like, okay, let's do it. Everything's perfect. Everything's in synchronicity. The 5 of Hearts, the Sorrow. So I feel like this is an improvement of situations where you recognize that something was kind of hurting your heart. Something was not actually being as kind to you as you had wanted it to be. But I think that this 2 of Hearts, this relationship and this person is moving towards openness and love with you. I think that they could be a Libra as well, or they could be an Aries. They could be any sign. But it's this kind of Aries energy, or an Aries could be involved influencing the situation. But how they feel about you is that they're seeing, I think that the attraction, the physical attraction, is really guiding them towards loving you. And I think that they're making choices away from feeling sad. They're making choices away from feeling they realize that the fact that they have pushed forward without pushing forward on the interpersonal connection, the friendship and and the character kind of love, the love for each other's character, they know that that's creating a sad situation, and so they are working hard to bring love and balance into the circumstances. Here are your cards. We have the Starlight Motel, the Star, the Fish, and then we have the Letter, and then we have the Birds. So I feel as though this could be a situation around work, and I feel like, or maybe at work you'll hear some information. This could be information coming at you through a third party about this. I feel as though there's a lot of attraction about what someone is in this situation. So I think the person is altruistic, but I do think that they are attracted to what someone is rather than who someone is. So what that person drives, what that person looks like, those kinds of things are the attraction point, their success in business, that kind of stuff. And so I feel like in some way there will be information that is coming to you about that. And I think that this person is drawing towards finding a holistic love towards you, a more kind of complete love towards you. But I feel like in some way you're going to have to work out whether or not they can actually get there with you. Sometimes it's just a thing people struggle with in their ability to kind of love people for who they are. Maybe they've had a lifetime of, you know, being taught to value what people are, and so those things are very jarring for people to have to deal with. But I think that their intentions are pure. It's just you're gonna have to figure out whether or not sometimes you can love the person but not love the behavior. I feel like maybe that's a little bit of that, you know. And so you have to figure out whether or not their behavior can match their intention, and if they can't, then you know what to do. Okay, so now we're on to number 6, and we're gonna see what the cards are. Yes, you can come out and play. There we go. That's an answer. I always watch when people do that and cards just fall out. I mean, I could do that too, but I used to get yelled at for like the way that I shuffled a lot on YouTube, like when I first started and nobody was really doing these. So I just said screw it. That's why I do it the way that I do it. Anyway, your first card is, so we have the Knight of Stars. Oh, here he comes. He's a Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. The adventurer. Somebody pops in and out of circumstances. He's there, he's gone tomorrow, that kind of thing. 8 of Hearts, codependency. Somebody's not really comfortable in this situation. They have one foot in the door, one foot out, and I feel like in some way they are they're kind of the wrong things are driving their intention to be in the relationship. The next message is the 10 of Hearts, culmination. There's friendship there for sure, but I feel as though this person has to do some healing with regard to why they choose people. Maybe they're afraid to be alone. Maybe they don't think that they can get what they want, so they settle for people that come around, that kind of thing. 3 of Hearts. There's a lot of positive words, positive affect, positive feelings in this situation to bring calm and joy into the circumstances. Then we have the Ace of Trees, a new beginning forward. And let's see, we have the Release. So I think that you will stand really best by in this situation to allow this situation to evolve naturally and to really allow this person to play out their scenario that's going on in their head. I think they like you. I think that that's a part. There are sincere feelings, but I feel as though you will hurt if you try to keep this person coming around, because one thing that is more aligned to their desire, they're going to be out of there almost immediately. This person could be a Scorpio, or they could be a fire sign, a Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, any sign. But let's see what sign we picked for this. It is Scorpio. There you go. So this person, you know, they're here for a short time, they're here for a good time, not a long time, that kind of thing. And I feel like they will change on you for a minute because they're dissatisfied with every single person they meet. That's a struggle internally for them. They're dissatisfied, and they keep, because they're dissatisfied about most of their relationships, they keep subpar relationships around them in order to maintain a flow of people, but they're not actually really happy to know anyone at this time, and that's maybe a part of depression, maybe something else. And so I feel as though either they need to change. This could be not a Scorpio, this could be involving a Scorpio, but either they need to change and really connect with the good energy. It's almost like they're denying themselves the good energy and the good feelings. And I think that that's why I'm thinking maybe they have depression or something like that, because it's like depression really kills or the schizoid personality disorder. A schizoid personality disorder is somebody who doesn't desire to be around other people, and that's a really weird kind of disorder. Well, it's not weird, it's maybe I'm schizoid, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it's not such a, it's like a, this disorder when a person doesn't really, they don't really want to be around other people. They just want to chill and do whatever, which is kind of hard for a person's life, because our whole society, our whole culture is designed around interconnections between people. So maybe it's a situational thing where this person finds themselves in a place that they don't like, and they don't like the people who are there in that place, but for whatever reason they're there. Or maybe it's just other things, like I said, maybe it's depression or something like that. But anyway, so there's positive feelings around them, but I think that there's this lack of connection. There's a disconnect that keeps on happening. And the thing that you need to watch out for is this person will dip on you if there is some kind of hope in a new direction. They're just going to take that way out when it's convenient for them. So you don't want to be with someone who's just kind of hanging around, who's kind of, you know, leeching off of you energetically, because they can't actually, because they're afraid or whatever the deal is, you know. So it could be a Scorpio, it could be another sign. If you're thinking about a different sign, that could be you. There's also a child, and then we have the Anchor. Somebody's growing into maturity. Somebody is becoming older and more mature, so they're learning more about the world. They're exploring. There's also a woman and a book. So I feel like when you really talk about it, you will understand this situation and how they feel about you. Maybe you'll be able to help them see and trust and open up, but unless you have that moment where you can't push them into it. Women who get readings from me, they, particularly women, they oftentimes have this kind of like, I can convince them, I can help them see, and I think that's not what I'm suggesting here. That never works. But what does work is that maybe you can make, in some way through conversation, you see that they really start opening up and feeling appreciation. This transformation card can actually mean that they will open up, that they will kind of, you know, let you in, and at some point. But by no means should you think that you will be in some way capable of changing them. You know, don't try to change them, because you'll get burned. And again, if you push them too hard, they'll just smile and nod their head and be codependent, and then dip on you, right? When the time comes up for it, when they see a glimmer of hope in a new direction. You have to think that you're dealing with a desperate person, you know. On some level they are desperate, and so desperation leads to these kinds of fight or flight kind of thinking, scarcity, you know. So they feel like there's not enough for them, so they're making scarce decisions, okay? Decisions of scarcity. Okay, so here are 6 cards. I'll just put down 6 and then we'll talk about it more. Love of Ace of Hearts, love. This person loves you. 5 of Pentacles, there's financial, 5 of Trees, financial limitations or physical limitations in this situation. So they're trying to make steps forward to ground this situation a bit more. They're trying to troubleshoot. This feels very overwhelming. The sign that we're reading for is Cancer. So I feel like this person wants to bring good things to you, but they don't know how. I feel as though their heart for you is very, very pure. Cancers are really sweet that way. The next message is the Star. I think that if it's meant to happen, there will be things that come into effect in this situation that will rise this circumstance out of difficult moments. Next we have the Magician. So I feel as though I think that there will be blessings that come into this relationship that will help to push it along. If you're not dealing with a Cancer, think of the 4th house, home and family, closeness, love in this situation, somebody who wants to really welcome you in. This person can also be a Aquarius or a Gemini or a Virgo, because the Magician is ruled by Mercury, okay? So that's both of those signs. And then the Page of Angels, mysticism. I don't think that you've had an outward conversation about all these feelings and everything that's going on, so it could feel really confusing. Cancers have a hard time opening up sometimes, and so I think you'll have a conversation, and this can be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra as well. You'll have a conversation in which you will be let in on just how hard it is for them. And maybe there's some hang up that they're stuck on. Maybe there's something that's holding them back. But I feel like there's a lot of good energy that is guiding you two together. And I think that this person is not being sketchy or pulled back in any way for any other reason than self-esteem or ability. Like they feel shamed, or they feel shame to be able to bring about this situation. Here, let's see, the Lenormand cards are the Anchor card, the Woman. Here, I'll cut them again. And then we have the Man, or see, aren't you glad? And then we have the Clouds. This situation will improve if you are patient with this person. This is really, really encouraging. This person really, really loves you. If they're not a Cancer, then they have those very loving feelings towards you that Cancers kind of rule. And so I feel like it's about, in time, there will be a conversation that happens that clarifies your position with regard to this person. And I think good things are coming in. And I think that people are really clarifying their hearts. And it's going to take time. Cancers sometimes take a really long time to come around with their feelings. And it takes them a really long time to feel open and welcoming. So if it's not a Cancer you're dealing with, then the energy of Cancer is here, where there's a lot of this shyness and very, very slow movement forward. Okay, but the feelings are really, really genuine and pure and sincere. This person feels like they're your soulmate. Here we have the Star here, right? So this person feels like you're their soulmate. And I think the universe is listening, the Magician. The universe wants to bring these situations together for you. Okay, so what sign which number are we on? We're on number 8, right? Okay, number 8. If you chose 8, hi. Make sure to comment and like the video, please. If we get up to 500, then I'll do another reading today. So hey girl, hey. Okay, so let's see. Your first message is the Two of Trees. So careful movement forward, one step forward, one step back. 3 of Hearts, love in this situation, happiness and joy. I feel like, yeah, there's celebration in this situation, and I feel as though there has been gossip going on in this situation, which has only slowed it down. Both people or one person is aware of the gossip, and it's making things really uncomfortable. That's the High Priestess card. So I feel like there has been awareness, and so that has slowed the process down, and I feel like you're trying to find a suitable way forward because of the consequences of people talking. The next message is the Two of Stars. And so this represents the energy of vision. So again, we have 2 twos, which is a soulmate connection, but it's riddled with other people's involvement, other people's influence. Then we have the Ace of Rods. I feel like you're waiting for something to begin that is suitable, and the Eight of Angels. It's a start-stop energy with this person. This person, it's not that they're starting and stopping because they're shady or they're sketchy. This person is starting and stopping because they in some way feel as though they are beginning a new path, and there's all these complications, and especially external complications that really deter them from moving forward in this situation over and over again. There's just a disconnect over and over that happens, a lot to do with other people's involvement. Let's see what sign it is. We have Capricorn. Okay, Capricorns are super busy this year. If you're not dealing with a Capricorn, it's a deep Capricorn energy where there's a lot of external things going on in Capricorn that are causing really sizable shifts. One day it's fine, the other day the sky is falling. It's that kind of energy for Capricorn right now. and it's really all over the place, and it's super fast paced. So just to keep up is an issue, just to keep going is an issue. It's just distractions left and right. Here is the next message. We have the dog, we have the child, and Scythe. There was an ending of a friendship and a commitment. Okay, so I feel there was an ending of a friendship. This friendship could be lasting as long as from childhood. And I feel as though maybe somebody is trying something new in trying to ascend to a higher level of commitment. But I think that there are external factors that keep on getting in the way of making a committed move forward. And it's not between the two people. This person has good feelings towards you. They want to really pragmatically move forward with you in a good direction, but there just seems to be always, the universe seems to be getting in the way and creating confounding situations that are really hard to reconcile. And so I feel like there's just distraction upon distraction in this relationship. I would say that the timing's off in this, and I would say that once maybe Venus goes direct in November 16th, maybe that's when things will taper out. I would say keep in touch with this person. You know how some people say, or how some people do, when it's bad timing in a situation, when it's bad timing, they'll just stop talking to someone and then come back at a later point in time. I feel like don't play that game. I think you should keep this person in your life, whether they're a Capricorn or otherwise. Keep that person in your life, keep them around, but don't push into a relationship so quickly. Allow those kinds of turbulent times to end, and wait for the answer to come through. It'll come through on its own. It'll come through naturally, okay? So you don't have to formulate like an answer to this situation yet, and I think you should try to slow the pace in the relationship to make it work, okay? Okay, so next we have number 9s. Hey 9s. Let's find out what they're thinking about you. Yay! No computer failure. Make sure to like this video and comment. Okay, so we have this jumping out again. So first, this came out second. This came out first. So 5 of Hearts, sorrow, and 8 of Hearts, codependency. Somebody's holding on, even though they're really hurt in the situation. They're still holding on to the situation, hoping that it'll work out. I feel like things have fundamentally changed in this situation. One or both people don't look at each other in the same way anymore. The next message, there's going to be communication about it. You're both tiptoeing around a pink elephant, and I feel like you're going to start addressing the issue. I think that the feelings are more hurt than you have let on, and this is for Libra. So I feel like there'll be communication about what had happened or the way things happened, and I think that there will be communication. There could be some type of offer that is coming through. I think this person may have had very genuine feelings towards you of a loving nature, and I feel like they in some way really wanted bring something about that was caring and loving, but for the time now, I feel like things, it's almost like it's very hard to go back on like severe rejection. And then we have the 2 of Angels. So I think that they want to make peace with the situation, but I don't know if maybe this is looking more hopeful. Let's see, the Knight of Stars. So again, the Alchemist, the King of Stars. Ooh, okay, Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I feel as though somebody wants to make a situation right and balanced, and I think that there will be communication that comes in soon about this way moving forward. I think this is somebody was really hurt by a rejection, and hopefully they're not retaliating. To me, it seems as though somebody else is coming in on their behalf. Ooh, I hope it's not the Libra. And so I feel like a Sag, Leo, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising is involved, or somebody is coming in on their behalf to try to temper out the situation, to make it better, to make it more fair. Here is the cards. We have the Coffin, ooh, and then we have the Snake. The childish behavior is coming out, and then the Man. So I would say that you know, I want to say that this person wants to make peace and balance, but I feel like this is a vendetta almost. If you're not dealing with a Libra, you could be either dealing with a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or a fire sign, a Sag, Leo, or Aries. And I feel like, I just be careful with this situation, but you know which one you're on. Either this person is wanting to flush out the problem and mature and become like a genuine relationship, or they're up to something, and you should be very, very careful. It's one or the other, and the energy is the same. So think about the energy is not the same, it's very distinct. So think about the person and think with your heart, like, is this person actually trying to bring me harm, or are they trying to get back into my heart? One or the other. And you'll know without even talking with the person which one that is. You'll know, and you can kind of try to rationalize your way around it, but if you really sit with your heart and accept what it's telling you, then you'll know whether this person is a threat or not. Okay, so either they're really sad about the situation and they want to make it better, and there's going to be attempts to try to make amends, because unfortunate things happened, or this person feels slighted and rejected, and they're out to kind of even the score, which you need to be very cautious of, you know. So you need to figure out which side you're dealing with, okay? What type of situation you find yourself in. And so next we have number 9. Number 9. 999. Okay, so your first card is the Four of Angels. This person wants rest and calm. 10 of Trees. I feel as though there was a great loyalty. 6 of Stars. Success. So I feel as though they're just letting things be. They feel comfortable in this situation. They feel comfortable in this relationship. I feel as though there is love and there's trust. Nothing's changed. Everything's good. There's nothing to worry about. The next 3 cards are the Nine of Angels. Okay. I feel like this is a reassuring card, actually, that in a certain way, you don't have to worry in this situation moving forward. 5 of Stars, 5 of Wands. Let's see what's going on. I think this is reassuring. 6 of Angels, transition. This situation, this person wants to help you move away from stressful situations. I think that they see and sympathize with the fact that you've been dealing with stressful situations for too long, and I think that in some way they're here to just say, no, it's chill, it's fine, we're leaving all this crap behind. And this is a Pisces, so I feel like this person in some way, yeah, if they're not a Pisces, they have mixed feelings. There's paradoxical feelings, which means that they feel yes and no together at the same time, which can be quite confusing. But there is a specific way forward that they want to take with you. So I feel like they really want to leave bad stuff behind. You can almost see the angel kind of moving behind, like, we don't need no 5 of Wands, we don't need no 9 of Angels, we can move on and be happy and successful. There's a fundamental level of trust and loyalty here. Here are 4 Lenormand cards. We have the Man, and then we have the Snake. I just shuffled. This is crazy that these cards are coming up this way. And then the Key. There was a man who was involved who was not honest in the situation, and it really threw the situation off. And I feel as though with maturity there is a better way to deal with it. So it was a timing issue. If you watched one of the earlier spreads that I did, that was like a timing issue, an issue that you needed to wait something out. Well, in this situation, it's more like the timing. It was a timing issue, and now the timing is to move on. And I think that that's how they feel. If you're not dealing with a Pisces, you could be dealing with any other sign. That's fine, but it has that level of Piscean energy here, and the Piscean energy is all about both things being okay. it's okay that it didn't work, but it's okay that it's working and there is trust. It's okay that there was a break in trust. This is the weird thing about Pisces, right? It's okay that there was a break in trust, but there is trust. Like, that's how they are. And it's mind-boggling to people who are, especially like certain signs that are very not like that. It's just like, how do you process that? Like, where do you actually stand? And they're like, well, you know, that's a Piscean thing. It's like, yeah, both are okay. That's fine. And there is going to be trust moving forward, but it's just, it is what it is. It's life. They have a very kind of like harmonious way of dealing with things. So the time is better. There was a man who was involved who was a seedy snake, and I think that was the person who probably in some way caused a lot of issues. But I think that this person opened up the door to growth and maturity, and I think that there was progress made in that direction. So maybe both people matured and now there's a good way forward. I feel like this person either wants to move on from the situation, or they feel like they want to move on with you, and I think you'll know exactly which boat you're in. So they're just moving away from bad times altogether, but there's closure here. There's understanding. Okay, so there's closure, understanding. Things are finalized. There's no bad feelings. They're going to make sure that you're okay. Okay, so that's Pisces for you, number 11. So make sure to comment and like. Now we're on number 11. Pisces was number 10, sorry. Okay. So your first three cards are the Seven of Hearts, Venus in Scorpio, and then we have the Ego, and then we have the Equilibrium / Divine Order. So I feel as though, so expectations, illusions are being removed from the situation, and only the truth remains, only the balance in the situation. So we're dealing with Aquarian energy. So if you're not dealing with an Aquarius hate BS. They really hate BS. It's like, that's their Achilles heel. And here we come, the awakening. So it's just, I think that there is this kind of, if you're not dealing with an Aquarius, you're dealing with someone who really doesn't like beating around the bush, that kind of thing. They really want to move forward in a direction that's positive. They are considering looking back on a situation and welcoming it back. They are considering bringing something back in and having this kind of acceptance of it in the here and now. The next message is codependency, the Eight of Hearts. There is this kind of vulnerable feeling here as well, where people may be making choices to be together, even though they don't feel perfectly okay with one another. I would really suggest that you flush that out. It's never good to stay in a situation that you don't feel good about. It's always going to cost you more in the long term. So unless like responsibilities are involved, like children or sizable mortgages or something like that, but on an emotional level, if you're staying with anybody who you're not feeling 100% in, it's going to have long-term damage for you and the other person. So it's not really a good thing. I think that once balance is achieved, once the shakedown happens, there will be an emergence of new feelings. Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I think that what this energy and what this person feels about you is that it became lackluster in the situation, and I feel like a shift or a shake-up will open up their heart. They don't feel so excited anymore about the situation, and I feel like something will happen that will lead to excitement again, and I think that they're going to open up again in terms of genuine feelings and genuine opinions. It's like the Seven of Cups is like when your mind starts running wild because you don't feel so engaged, you don't feel so excited about things, so you start trying to formulate all these rationale and all these ideas that are actually not there, and then you get more depressed and more depressed until shakedowns happen, right? So here is the next message. So you have a whip, yeah, like restricted. We have to think about it this way to keep this situation going. And then we have the mice, and I feel like that's leaving you vulnerable to losing things, to kind of putting yourself in less than great situations. And there is friendship there. There's this I have to stay loyal. And then I think that cutting all these BS things out will really help to kind of move forward in the direction that you desire in this situation. I think that someone either is going to cut their attitude, like stop being all condescending and high up on themselves, and then things will taper out, or it's either you or the other person, or the relationship will stop and you will move forward into relationships that are heart-centered, in which people are not pretending to be friendly or friends, people who are genuinely involved and interested in each other. Okay, so there you go. Good connections on the way. And if you're not dealing with an Aquarius, just remember, Aquarian energy hates the BS. So it's like they don't have time for that kind of stuff. So if you're the one who's the Seven of Hearts, doing the Seven of Hearts, then you know that's your bag. But this energy does not welcome that kind of thing. Okay, so here we go. Next message. We have 3 cards. We have the 10 of Stars, and then we have the Acceptance, the Harmony. This is the Sagittarian card of Temperance and the Ace of Angels. So I feel as though you are okay, so we have, this has been a heavy journey in which a lot has been going on, a lot to integrate. It's been a very hard process. Life has been hard. It's been hard, people. Super, super hard. And I feel like people have been working really hard to find harmonious outcome for this. And there's going to be conversations about it. The sign you're dealing with is the Bull. So there's been a lot in the way. Either people are coming from 2 different places. There's a lot to bring them together. But I feel like there is a real decision or a real desire to move forward and to blend things, to bring them a little closer in. Knight of Hearts, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. There could be an offer made, even if it's from a distant place. A 5 of Hearts and Sorrow. There's a lot of discouragement here because it's really a lot to put together. And then we have the Star and Hope. That's such a beautiful card. I'm so happy that came through. This could be the sign of Aquarius. This could be the sign of Sagittarius. So all these people could be involved. The Taurus energy could be a person, or it could be the energy kind of guiding this circumstance. The Taurus energy is super determined. Like the Taurus energy will live through an apocalypse and still try to attain the love that they have set out for themselves. They're that loyal. It's a super loyal sign. So I feel like with this, I was really sad looking at this. I was like, oh no, this looks really, really tough. Like a lot's gotten in the way of things. But I think that there's going to be an event that brings about hope in a situation that will make it real. Here are 4 cards to clarify. Commitment was a point of desire. Then I think that there's this kind of commitment became a responsibility, and so that really weighed down the situation. Then we have the Whip. This is the thing that is restricting this commitment. There's boundaries and a ship. So I think it's going to be a change of place, a change of location that will lead to an improvement in this situation. I think this person feels really bogged down, but they're still with you in terms of their emotions, in terms of how they feel about you. And they really want to bring about this, you know, this connection, even though it's been super hard. They're super loyal towards you. And if you're dealing with a Taurus, there you go. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a nice time, nice week, nice day, whatever. Make sure to comment and like, and thank you for watching my channel. Take care. Bye. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for the new moon for November 7th, and I'm excited to be here. So we're reading for this sign. I don't know what sign it is. I like to pick some cards without looking at it first. And then we are going to break down the astrology and the tarot here on YouTube, and then I will talk about some deeper astrology and tarot with the Art of Love tarot on the Vimeo. So you've got the Universe card. Ooh, that's pretty exciting. That's a sign of completion of cycles, a special direction, a new direction that opens up for you. Let's take a look at your cards. So we have the Six of Cups, which is Sun in Scorpio. So this is where the Sun is right now. This is also the card of soulmates. This is the Mary L. Tarot. The next card is the Three of Swords. So there has been some kind of broken heart between soulmates. And we have the Eight of Rods. So I feel as though this is an opportunity to learn a lesson. I feel like somebody's really, really learning a lesson about what they truly want and what's in their heart. And sometimes it is through losing something or through the denial of something. When we experience loss, sometimes we have the moment of appreciation that that's truly what we wanted, right? So sometimes when you may not know what you have until it's gone. And so I feel as though this could be a soulmate connection that you in some way are going through a series of experiences with, good and the bad, ups and downs, and I feel like you're toiling with a bit of a broken heart about it. So something's not really sticking in this situation. Something is kind of sort of coming apart. I also feel as though that is prompting one person or both people to communicate and really open up what they want to say. Now this is Mercury in Sagittarius, and this is where Mercury is right now. I'll talk about that in just a moment. There's an asteroid here as well. So the sign we are reading for is, make sure to like and comment too, please, if you don't mind. So we're looking at Pisces. Okay, so hi Pisces, nice to see you. So this is really deep, huh? Let me just get your astrology ready and then we will talk about this in terms of the aspects. So here we go. Hi Pisces. Let's take a look at your chart. So the first thing I wanted to address or highlight since this card came up is that Mercury is in Sagittarius in your 10th house of career, right? So this means that in some way you are being called upon to communicate from your heart, communicate from spirit what you truly want. Now Mercury is about to go retrograde in this area of your life. We'll do a special video for that, so let's just leave that alone for now. But there's an asteroid here called Icarus, right? And so Icarus flew up to the sun and not listened to his father's warnings, and his wings made of wax had melted because he flew too high, and then he ended up crashing. So the warning of Icarus is, I feel like what this is saying is that be careful of just how much you say. Be careful of how robust your communication is, because I feel as though maybe this is like jumping on a trampoline. It feels like you are jumping so high because you get scared, or someone's getting scared here. Maybe it's the person that you have in mind, the soulmate, the Six of Cups here. But I feel as though you're jumping on a trampoline, or someone is, and they're recognizing their broken heart, and so they say everything. They like pour their heart out on the situation. And because Mercury is already in shadow and we have Icarus here, I feel like that's a big warning with regard to just how much is being said right now. So use your words wisely. You can say what you feel. It's always a good idea, but also be cognizant of the fact that this may mean that you have to be very careful right now. And this could be especially in situations surrounding work. So be careful exactly how much you say, to whom and how, and I feel as though that's going to be something really important. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the new moon specifically, which is happening in your 9th house, right? Jupiter is at the top of your chart, which is a very blessed time for you. It's a good time to be a Pisces. Now Jupiter's in aspect to 2 points, the south node and the north node, which is very, very special actually, because there's a sextile between Jupiter and the south node, and then there's a trine between Jupiter and the north node. So it's almost like Jupiter is prying. Here, I'll use my cursor so we can kind of. So Jupiter is in a sextile to the south node and with a trine to the north node, and it's like the Jupiter is prying or opening the door to something karmic, and especially for you, this is your house, the 12th house of spirituality. It's prying the door open to this 12th house and welcoming in some kind of awareness or realization. Now, because of this sextile, this is positive only. So this is a positive awareness that is coming into your consciousness. And then Jupiter is directing that energy straight to the North Node, which is your Dharma, the direction that you are evolving in life. And it's giving you some practical consequence for the awareness. So you realize something, and then in some way you are able to ground it down into a specific context or situation, and therefore you feel like acting out, you feel like doing this or that, or saying something from your heart. Just be careful with just how much ambition you do so. You know, don't fly up to the sun. If there's warnings around you telling you to hold back, then you need to listen to those warnings, especially if it's your father, because Icarus was warned by his own father, right? Okay, so we have the new moon with in Scorpio as well. It's not quite a conjunction, but it's close. And the new moon is an aspect to some fixed stars, assuring that this new moon will be positive. Some of the other aspects to be aware of through this new moon are the South Node and the North Node connecting a T-square to Uranus. Now, this has been going on for quite some time in your second house now of money. And I feel as though Uranus has been struggling with this transit. It's really slowing down the progress and feeling like you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. There's a little bit of a lag feeling with this T-square. A T-square is like harsh energy that sort of slows us down. However, Uranus is actually an aspect to a fixed star here. So it's a star called Merak, and it's harmony to be receptive. So whatever obstacles that are being the consequence of creating this square, squares are harsh energy in astrology. Whatever the consequences of being in a square are, you have a little bit of mobility to deal with whatever obstacles that have come up. So that is positive. It's a very, very blessed new moon. It really is. And for you, it's happening in the 9th house of awareness, mental activity, long distance travel. All of these things are opening up for you. So think very positively. It's going to take you in good directions, and I'm sure that you'll find some really wonderful opportunities to work through. Now, this new moon is an aspect to Pluto, right? And that's a sextile, and it's in your 11th house of friendship. What I think this means is that friends are conduits of energy for you at this time. So make those connections, really connect with people and say what you want, even if it means going to see someone, you know, being called upon to go see someone, make plans to go see someone. It's all there. Now, Mars is here in your 12th house, so it's still feeling a little bit groggy, but Mars moves really fast and soon will be in Pisces. So you'll feel much better and much more motivated when that happens. Okay, so now let's take a look at your last 3 cards before we switch over to Vimeo. Okay, so let's see what kind of... This is the Syrian starseed tarot. So we have the Sage of Orbs. This to me seems like Athena, right? So Pallas Athena, she's the daughter of Jupiter. And so I feel as though this is the Queen of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And I'm not sure if this is Athena. I should probably know, but this is probably like a Roman painting, or a depiction of a Roman painting. So anyway, so I feel like there is a clear and decisive thought or idea. Remember, I should keep this up. This is to do with the mind, right? Higher level thinking, education, Pisces. And I think this is you. This is you. Remember, we've been doing all this work with regard to, how do you say, Pisces have been very assertive at this time, very kind of taking control over your environment, pushing forward in a direction that's right for you. Chiron is now back in Pisces, and I think what this means is you have an opportunity to speak to things or address things the way that you see they should be done. So this is Pisces being extremely assertive, and I feel like this Queen of Swords is an aspect of you. I think that this is the advice. Maybe don't fly with so much ambition towards some mountaintop in which you can get hurt, some unknown place. put down your steps very carefully and methodically towards a destination and a goal that you want. We have the reason card, which is the Emperor, right? So we have reason, another message of intellect, reason, careful planning, movement forward, and the Nine of Flames. So there's protection here. So I feel as though, not to get too political here, but like women do have a harder time in society sometimes asserting themselves, right? And so many women do not assert themselves because of fear of repercussions. And so I feel as though this is like a patriarchal protection of you doing that. So you have like entourage that protects you to assure you that whatever you need to assert through this new moon will actually lead you to safety, will lead you, you will be protected. So if you have to say something, if you have to say something at school, or if you're writing an exam, or if you're writing some kind of paper in which you want to be sort of discursive or challenge the system, I feel as though this is saying, like, if you feel like morally obliged to, if you feel like that's the truth of what you're saying, then this energy is going to protect you and is going to be with you through it. Okay, so we're going to pick 4 more cards from the Art of Love Tarot on the Vimeo, and I'll get into the fixed stars and also the asteroids, so a little bit more. So thank you guys so much for watching. All the links are down below and in your playlist. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, and thanks for joining me. And this is a little follow-up video to my dailies in which we're talking about the which video to watch for your sign. That's a question that we get a lot. So I did a video on this a long time ago, but I don't think I did it justice. So since we're doing daily videos, I want to do like a series where I explain basic topics to you guys to help you guys watch my videos and others' videos as well. So we have an example here by somebody's natal chart. This is somebody's birth chart. And it's actually a really good example for talking about the complexity for knowing how to choose which sign to watch for. So let me explain a little bit, and I'll go sign by sign to tell you exactly how to do this in your chart. So if you go to alib.com/free chart, it's listed also in the About section. You can get your free chart that looks kind of like this. All of these positions are planets, and all of these positions here, the little symbols, are the signs that this planet is in. That's all you need to know for this video. Also, actually, you need to know that this is the sign that governs this house, right? So these are the houses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you don't know the houses, check out my video on houses. I think that's that will be up for you to watch. And these are the signs that govern, excuse me, my mouse is being funny. These are the signs that govern the houses that all these aspects are in, right? So Pisces governs the 11th house, and all these planets are here. That's called a stellium, when you have lots of planets together in one house. Some astrologers only go by degrees. I say that if there's a bunch of planets in the same house, that's a stellium. So let's say that this is our chart. Imagine that this is your chart. It's not, but this is how I would consider it. So take a look at your sun. Your sun is the circle with a dot in the middle. And then take a look at this sign here. So this sign here is Taurus, right? So 2 degrees of Taurus in the 11th house. So the person whose chart this would be, they would watch for Taurus. They would watch for Taurus. And so, right, so they would watch for Taurus for their sun, which is their being. The next sign that they would watch for is their moon, which is their soul or their emotional connection to the world around them. The moon is in Aries, right? So that's the little sign here. And so the little sign here in Aries will tell the person who's kind of analyzing their chart to watch the Aries video for information about their soul experience. Okay, so those are the first two ones that you need to look for: the sun, your sun position, which will be in one of these houses, right? And you want to take a look at this sign to understand what the energy is. And then the second one is the moon, which is for one of these placements in the 11th house, right? Okay, so the third sign that you want to watch for is your rising or your ascendant. And I think most people get confused about this sign more than anything else. Your rising sign is here on the leftmost part of the chart. And so it rests between the 12th house and the 1st house. And so this is called the ascending position. So here we see Gemini, which is another video that you could consider watching to understand your chart. Your rising sign corresponds with how you are perceived by others and by the world. So this is the next point of understanding of your chart. Now let's make it a little bit more complicated, but first let's look through the three signs that you want to watch for most clearly, most often. The first one is the sun, which is this little circle with the dot in the middle, and so you want to watch it for the sign that's here. In this case, we are looking at Taurus. Okay, the next sign we want to watch for is the moon, which is the crescent shaped moon here. And so the sign we want to watch for is Aries in this example. Yours will be different, so you want to make sure what sign is here and figure that out. Okay, the final basic video that you want to watch is for your rising, and your rising is shown here, which is Gemini rules the 1st house, right? So Gemini is your ascending or rising sign in this example. Yours will be different, and then it governs the 1st house, which is your ascending sign. Okay, and so in this example, we're looking at a chart that has it's not a whole house system. A whole house system is when the sign governs the entire house, and each house is equal degrees of 30 degrees. In this case, this person was probably born in a northern latitude, and so therefore there's something called intercepted signs. Actually, this chart is unique because there's two intercepted signs. There's Libra and Aries. Oh, there's just Libra and Aries, so right. But she, I can just say it's she has two different houses that have very large spreads of degrees, and then several different houses that are very narrow, right? So in the 11th house, we see something different that we want to watch out for. And this won't be true for everyone watching out there, but it's something for you to consider. So if you have a bunch of planets here, then and you have several different signs that are connected to that house, either the opening sign, the closing sign, or this sign, which is called the interception, the sign that doesn't either lead or follow, but is kind of a guest inside of the 11th house, then you may want to consider watching for the sign here. This sign, Pisces, is actually governing the 11th house. So all the planets and all the bodies that are inside the 11th house are actually governed by Pisces in this non-whole house system, right? And so Pisces governs Venus in Pisces. Pisces governs the moon in Aries in this example. Pisces governs Chiron in Aries in this example. Pisces governs Mercury in Aries in this example, and Pisces governs even the sun in Taurus in this example. So if this was my chart and I was watching a video, I would definitely check out Pisces videos to see if there's any information that is valid for me. So that's all you really need to know. So watch for your sun, and then take a look at this little sign here in your chart to find out what sign that's in, and then watch for your moon to find out what sign it's in here, and then watch for your rising, which is depicted here, right? And then you may want to watch also for your house ruler, in which a lot of planets are in, because this sign, Pisces, governs all of these planets. So all of the energies, love, soul, healing and hurt, communication, and being are all governed by Pisces. So everything is through a Pisces lens, just like any type of other lens. It's like a window into the experience of the individual. So that's how I would watch your videos. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is a quick little video to talk about like 5 things. So if I can get your attention for just a minute, I'll make it worth your while. Thanks for watching all my videos and liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff. Super stoked to always see you. This is not a reading, this is just an update, but it's one that you want to listen to. So first off, I'm going to do a new contest for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but we're going to have rolling winners, which means that periodically I will pick a winner and you will be qualified to win, which is super exciting. So the way that the contest works is that I will pop up like this and do a surprise video that you guys may not be aware that I'm gonna do the video, and so at that time you guys can come into the stream and I will either pick a winner in the stream directly or once the video is posted for like a minute. So this brings us to the next point. The next point is notifications. A lot of people are struggling with notifications. I'm getting comments about it all the time. So I'm going to clarify for you guys, and hopefully this will help other channels as well. So feel free to use this with other people as well, just to make sure that you're getting the videos. Literally every single time I post a video, somebody is contacting me that they didn't get notified. So let me break it down for you. So here is my wonderful channel, and this is my new video for Libra. I want to play you guys the intro here because it's so pretty. There she is, Miss Witch on the full moon. I'm going to be posting all these videos over the next 2 or 3 days. I love this song. These clouds are great, aren't they? I filmed them myself. I love them so much. But that's not the point of the video. I just love it. Yay! Okay, if you guys want to vote for the next full moon video, then just go to my Facebook. There's a link there for the vote. But this is for notifications. Okay, so as you can see, I've already subscribed. I was meant to be unsubscribed to show you guys the whole thing. I'm signed in with my other email. So anyway, so you subscribe here. I'll show you guys the whole thing. So first thing first, you subscribe to a channel that you want to watch, namely me, right? Then you hit the bell, and then send me all the notifications for this channel. You click that off, but there's more. So you can go into another window. Sorry that this is so small. And you click on manage notification sessions. This is on your PC. In a sec, I'll show you how to do it on your phone. And so you can see, send me emails about my YouTube activity. Send me, and you can check off whichever one you want. You want to go down here to channel subscriptions. You see that? So you have occasionally notify me of new video activity from my subscription. So you want to make sure to check that off as well. You'll always get notified. You've turned on the individual channels. We'll get to that in a second. And subscriptions notify me through email or push. So if you have your phone enabled, then you can, oh, it's not showing you. You can select phone, push and email, or you can choose push only or email only, okay? So I keep mine turned off. And then just for this channel, this is a little email that I use for the app. And then we click manage all my subscriptions. So I only subscribe to this to show you guys. This is not an account I use. So we have subscribed. Again, you can click the bell and you can manage all your subscriptions together. So if you're getting emails from PewDiePie and you don't want to get emails from PewDiePie, or if you want to get emails from, I don't know, BuzzFeed, and you don't, let's say it the opposite way. Let's say you're not getting emails from PewDiePie, but you want to, or you are getting tons of emails from BuzzFeed and you don't want to, then you go here and you fidget around. So do you guys want me to show you again, or it's pretty clear? You guys can rewind and watch the beginning part again, right? So make sure to subscribe here. On the phone, it's a little bit different. So let's go over to the phone and I will show you how to turn on your notifications. So let me just see. I'm going to do a shameful plug for my buddy, and I am subscribed to her. I unsubscribed to show you guys. So here's Gemma with Gemstone Tarot, okay? Miss Gemma, fabulous Gemma. She deserves to subscribe. I was subscribed to you, Gemma. You're awesome. So first I subscribe. You saw me hit the subscribe button. Do you see the bell here? So you hit the bell. Hit the bell, right? And then look what happened at the bottom. There's options. You got to click that here at the bottom. And then you see what happens? Notifications for Gemstone Tarot, all, occasional, none. And you need to select the interval at which you get notified. So you go all, occasional, none. I want all from Gemma, so I hit OK. And I'm going to get all my subscriptions coming through from her lovely, lovely channel straight to my email or phone. So hopefully that's clear. So if you guys are into the contest, just to remind you, I'm doing a new contest for those of you who came in a little bit late. So I am doing a contest for it's a flash contest, which means that I will pop up and post videos at random times and select a winner pretty much on the spot or within a few minutes. So you guys want to make sure that you have your notifications turned on for my channel so that you can participate and win wonderful things. It won't be just readings, it'll be also I'll send you stuff. So be excited for that. I'm excited for you and for me too. And then we have the full moon reading that's posted now. So thank you guys so much. Please go to my Facebook page to vote for who goes first. Just a little update on the app. The app is going to be available on iPhone soon. The app is ready. It's been ready for like a month, but there's been a problem with the iStore. They're more specific than Google. So I will get that published and let you guys know. And also I am going to post once a week on Facebook Live. So please add me as a friend or check in with me, follow my main account, and I will do Facebook Live. I just did one, so go check that out. So over the next 3 or 4 days, we'll post full moon videos for Sag. Those are going to be covering the 6th. Okay, oh, that's what I was going to say about full moon. And the boring stuff's last. So it's going to cover the 6th, 7th, 8th, and then the 9th, which is the full moon, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. This is the daily for the next week. But the full moon energy works in the way that we have 3 days leading up to the full moon, and then the 3 days after. So the way that we want to use that energy is that we want to get a hold of and grab the energy riding up and get really aware of what's about to transpire with the full moon that will culminate, and then it will wane, but things can happen on the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and on the 10th, 11th, and 12th that will either initiate or finalize the energy of the full moon. So think of it as a whole week-long transit, and instead of doing dailies for those 7 days, I broke it down by sign. So each sign for your sun, moon, and rising, you will get a video for the full moon, and then also you will get a astrology reading for the full moon. And then if you want to watch for your sun, moon, or rising, your Venus or your Mars, that's also a good idea. Hey, listen, since I have you guys, maybe I can explain this too, because I get a lot of questions about this. Let's see if it works. Okay, so here is a regular chart, right? So let me explain this because people ask, what do I watch for? So for the sun, moon, and rising, when you're watching the astrology, it's called the solar house, whole house system. So if I was an Aries sun, I would watch the Aries video, and the astrology would still make sense, but it would not look like your chart, because we would be setting the sun to the first house, right? So just trust the video for the sun with the astrology. It's set to the solar whole house if you want to Google that and learn more about that. The more specific way to watch is to find the exact chart, look at your chart printed out, have a look at it, and then compare it to the chart that I'm reading. Oftentimes it's associated with the rising, but not necessarily, because if you have a high place rising or a low place rising position, then you might have a skew. And in that system, which is called Placidus, it does not allow for equal houses. It's irregular. So there's certain houses are 20 degrees, certain houses are 40 degrees, depending on where you were born. So you have to kind of Mickey Mouse it. You have to figure it out yourself by eye. So for example, if I was looking for the moon here, I would be looking on my chart for 5 degrees of Libra on my chart, and then watching the video in which I talk about the full moon. This isn't a full moon, this is a quarter moon, but in the 7th house. So if I was doing a reading for the quarter moon in the 7th house, I'd look for my position coincides with that 5 degrees of Libra. You're not going to look for your moon. You're going to look for where is 5 degrees Libra in my chart. And if 5 degrees Libra is in the 7th house in your chart, then you watch the Aries rising video. Okay, and there's going to be some variance with that. If you need any more information, then you probably do want to get a consultation. My consultations are really reasonable, and I can provide like a whole hour-long lesson where I can teach you how to look at your chart and break down the different parts of it and which videos to watch. So if you ever want to do that, then look for that. But my consultations will not be available until July. Oh no, consultations are available. My astro profiles will not be available until July, just because I'm too busy. So I was going to make this 5 minutes. It turned out to be 12, but I hope that you guys are doing well. Thank you guys for checking out my full moon videos, and I will be back very shortly with a contest. I wonder what it's going to be. Bye. Hey everybody, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this after show talk. So today we're talking about how to interpret your chart vis-a-vis exactly the charts that I use in the daily show, right? So let me show you guys some examples. I'm going to cover this so it's not so distracting, or maybe I should show my hand because then I can point. Okay, so let's take a look at an example chart. So we have Heaven's chart, Heaven Sent Everyone. So you guys can go check out her channel on YouTube. She's dope, and we have her chart. She let us use her chart as an example, so that's exciting. And let's take a look at today's chart. Let's see that come up as an example of what we are working against. Okay, so on the right hand side is the chart for today, which is set to Aries, and then on the other chart is Heaven's chart, and I'm going to explain to you guys how they work together and how to interpret your chart when you're watching my videos. First things first, you want to go to alib.com/free chart to get a chart that looks just like this by entering your information. You do need your birth time, so if you don't know your birth time, then unfortunately this is going to be a problem for you being able to compare the charts accurately. But even so, you can set the chart to your sun sign and have that as your rising. That's a little too complicated. You might want to get an astro profile for me to do that for you. It costs about $30, so do that if you like. But let's take a look. Let's say you do have the chart. So usually when I do the reading, I start with 0 degrees Aries. The reason that we set our charts to Aries as a preset is that Aries rules the first house, and it's the youngest sign of the zodiac. So that's why we start with always Aries. It works out really well for anyone who has an Aries rising, because right away the chart is set close to what their chart looks like. Well, Miss Heaven over here has her rising sign as Sagittarius, right? So you guys see Sagittarius here. So that means that Aries is all the way over here, and so her chart is shifted. Now this is going to happen for everyone. It doesn't matter at all with regard to like sorry, I'm just switching the color of the the chart of the pen. So it doesn't matter at all with regard to how you are going to interpret it. So for example, let's take a look at my chart from today. So this is the transit chart on the right hand side. Let's see. The first thing we want to see is that the sun is in Sagittarius at 27 degrees. I talked about that in the video. So what you do is you go to your chart, right? This one here, and then you find 27 degrees of Sagittarius. So with Heaven's chart, we see her rising sign as 16 degrees Sagittarius, and her second house begins at 21 degrees Capricorn. She's got a really big first house. That means that she has almost 2 signs. Well, not really. It's pretty big though. It's like a sign and a little bit. And so when we're eyeballing it, you can't tell the exact degree. I would say that 27 degrees Sagittarius is somewhere around here. So that means that the sun is currently around here in Heaven's chart. So that's the sign for the sun, right? Sorry, it's looking a little funny. But yeah, so that's where the sun is right now. So let's take a look at another aspect and how to find it on the chart. We were talking a lot about Virgo today because the moon and the north node are in Virgo, and then there's that Taurus hammer there going on Virgo in the 6th house, right? So let's take a look at how that would look in Heaven's chart. Okay, so first we want to find the sign of Virgo. So Virgo in Heaven's chart is right here. That's Virgo. It starts at 2 degrees, right? So let me just clear that out. Let's try again. So we have 2 degrees, and then there's Virgo, right? So we're looking for Virgo. We found Virgo, and there's 2 degrees Virgo. So where is the conjunction happening? Well, funny enough, the moon is at 3 degrees of Virgo, and then the north node is at 6 degrees of Virgo. So it's really at the beginning of Heaven's 9th house. So you take a look here, the moon will be at 3 degrees, which is right at the beginning, almost in conjunction to the 9th house, and the north node is here. So I'll draw the symbols. I'm not very good at drawing with this thing, so sorry, but that's the north node, and here's your moon. So they're conjunct in Virgo in the 9th house. So let's explain this house business. So when I'm talking about all this stuff on the video or whatever, and so we have the 1st house, we have the 9th house, and I'm like, okay, there's a Taurus hammer, right? So take a look at the left hand side, on the right hand side, there's a Taurus hammer here. There's a lot of energy coming through. I told you guys in the pre-show, it's a robust, forceful energy. So you're like, okay, and I'm like, take a look at your house. So the house means the place in your life where this energy will manifest, right? So you want to take a look at your personal chart. So when you're looking at the north node and the moon here that we were just talking about with that Taurus hammer, that robust energy, we take a look at the 9th house, right? 9th house has to do with philosophy, long distance travel, also institutions like school, etc. And so you probably are going to experience some type of breakthrough with regard to how you're thinking about things, because the 9th house is philosophy, and a lot of things will have to do with the way that you look at the world. Maybe a breakthrough with regard to travel, something being able to travel somewhere where you never thought possible, or maybe a trip that you've been planning is not going to pan out, but trust that it's going to happen for your best good. Okay, let's take a look at the second example. So here we have the sun at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, right? So how do we find that on the chart? We go here, we already found the sun, 27 degrees, right? And it's in the 1st house. The 1st house has to do with personality, right? So when you're talking about personality, 1st house, so right now, Heaven is on fire, as we know. Her channel's blown up. We all love her. She's so great. She can't do no wrong, because when the sun is transiting through your 1st house, you're going to feel on fire. You're going to have that loving, beautiful energy coming through your personality. People are going to recognize, people are going to see the beauty that is you. And so when we see the sun in the 1st house, that's the kind of energy that we see coming through. So that's a little bit about how to interpret your chart. if you're interested in learning about the houses, I did the video yesterday for it. So in about a week's time, that video will be available for everyone to watch. If you want me to explain more detailed explanations about how all the placements work in each sign, I can definitely do that, but it's going to take some time. We can do a little talk every day. Let me know if you like the after show talks. Just make sure that you are commenting in the about section. So yeah, so I'm super stoked that you guys came to watch this. I hope this was a good information session. If you want me to use your chart as an example, then go to my meditation, my soulmate meditation, and go to my soulmate meditation and like that video and comment in the video below, and then I will choose a winner almost every day whenever I use the chart, and we'll use your chart as an example. So you'll get that one-on-one with me. I'll have an example. Everybody will be happy. So if you guys have questions about what I talked about, please leave it a comment in the about section below, not in the chat box, because I'm gonna miss it. So, and we can talk about this in more detail, but now you know how to find planets on your chart when you watch my video. So you definitely want to go to alabe.com/free chart and get that information out of there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love all this help and support. You guys are truly the best. Make sure to check out my videos for 2017. I have 2 sets of videos. I love you too, Heaven. Everybody check out Heaven Sent. Her channel is awesome. She is the bee's knees. She is so awesome. I love her so much. And so, yeah, I have 2 videos out for 2017. I have a love edition that is with the January video, and then I have a general philosophical reading that's an hour long. It's very meditative, wonderful to go back to. Heaven's also got a video out for 2017, and it's on fire, just like all her other videos. So you can like watch her and my videos back to back for like, you have like 2 hours of watching. It's so awesome. So yeah, so I'm so stoked to bring these to you. Please keep your questions coming, and thank you for coming and supporting and participating. I love you guys so much. Please get a sponsorship if you come on a day-to-day basis. I'll send you some thank you cards. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you know, big love, and almost Happy New Year. So I'll just start saying it now. See you later. Bye guys. Hey guys, thanks for joining me, and welcome to your reading for Venus retrograde in October and November. So October 6th through November 16th. I don't know what sign I'm reading for. The first 3 cards that I draw will just read without me knowing what sign it is, and then I will find out, right? So anyway, so let's take a look at the cards. So your first card is the 7 of Pentacles. I feel as though there is an investment in the future, really looking forward to, you're taking the time out through this Venus retrograde in some way to really plan for the future, really figure out where you are going to go. The next message is the Fool, embracing new beginnings. I think that you're excited about where you are going. I love this. She's like my type of mermaid. She's like a ha ha ha. That's great. And she's like, that's a fun mermaid. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, so you're kind of embarking on something. You've been saving money for it for a while, saving your resources, you know, redirecting your life so that you can embrace this new path. Let's find out what your third card is. We have the 2 of Wands. There's a lot of wishing and hoping and praying. This reminds me of the year I graduated high school, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait until, you know, I get to go and live life. And like, we did the stupidest things because we were just so excited to get out of there, right? So this is the same kind of feeling. You're super excited about something. You've been saving it for a while. You're embarking on a new adventure, and I think you're super hopeful towards it. That looks really positive. Let's see what your angel card is. That is exploration. Are you going on a trip? It looks like you're going on a trip somewhere. So I'm excited for you. I don't know what sign it is. Hold on. Let's find out what sign. Hold on. I gotta shift around. Okay, so before I tell you guys this, these cards are going to be explained further on Vimeo and the VOD pages. It's a little reading that's a bonus thank you for everybody who got the October package. So if you got the October package, this will be included in it as a bonus. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and my channel. I greatly appreciate it. Also, for new subscribers, hey guys, when you subscribe to my channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. Then if you hit the notification bell next to that subscribe button, that's when you get notifications. So if you don't have the two little lines over the bell, you're not getting notified about my content. So make sure that's on. And if I've heard that when people have been missing it anyway, so maybe turn it off and on, like retoggle it to see. Anyway, so here is the sign we're reading for. And it's Virgo. Ooh, Virgo. We're going on an adventure. Hey girl, hey. I'm excited. I kind of thought it was us. I'm surprised. A new beginning, hey? I'm not ready for this. Oh my gosh, I need to prepare. Okay, some type of new beginning, some type of new journey. There's a lot of preparation here. Venus is retrograde in our third house in November, and our third house in November, and our second house third house in October, second house in November. And so in the third house, I think that there will be a lot of this preparation going on. There'll be a lot of focus on what we want to achieve and where we want to go with things. I think that as that changes on about October 31st, the focus will be more to do with money, and there'll be suddenly this kind of idea of like, what am I going to do now? Where is the wind taking me? It's kind of an exciting energy to be in. I think that you're extremely hopeful to be here, and I think that it's taking you in good places, okay? So next we're going to do a tarot card reading. I'm so excited that it's Virgo, and I'm so excited we didn't get the Tower there. Oh my gosh. Okay. Scorpio got the Tower. Hey girl, hey. Okay. To you. Anyway, so let's take a look at Virgo. Don't tempt it, Baruch, you're gonna get in trouble. So okay, Virgos, let's see what's up with Virgo. We have first the Three of Wands. So good work paid off, and I think that there will be outcome for the way that you've been with people, the way that you have been trying to build something positive in a good direction. I think you're really defending yourself, and I think that in a certain way, like the proof is in the actions that you're taking. I think that you're just achieving good things, and you're really like hopeful and feeling excited. I think that there's new beginnings available for you. This looks like a lot of fun. This looks like a lot of enjoyment and a lot of pleasure. Here is the next two cards in terms of your desire for a relationship. So you have the Seven of Swords. So I think that maybe in some way you're kind of dealing with a lack of willingness to commit with someone. So I think that maybe you're not so open to a relationship at all. I think that maybe you're focused on your own stuff, own prospects. You want to figure out exactly where you're at before you start making promises. The next message is the Five of Rods. So I think that you're feeling quite a bit of stress. Maybe a situation in the recent past has cost you a lot of time or energy. And so in some way, I think that you're wanting to take a step back and reassess the energy that is around you. I think that you're kind of taking a look at things from new perspectives. And I think that you no longer are walking into swords. You're gently gliding along and not even getting any kind of tear or any kind of snag on your clothes. You know how the swords are kind of pointing at her. She's able to kind of navigate them very easily. And I feel as though you're also appreciating the circumstances that you're up against and the circumstances that you're dealing with. And so I think that by respect and reverence for that which you are up against, you're starting to make really wise choices about your future. So this side of the heart, the second side of the heart, represents your partner or your kind of love interest, or what the universe is bringing in for you in terms of love. The first message is the Seven of Wands, and so this is like the desire to form a bridge with someone, to make a connection. I feel like that person really wants to connect with you. That person wants to overcome barriers in the relationship and really wants to find a good outcome. That's your ship coming in, right? The next card is, we have the Three of Swords. That person's been going through a big heartbreak, and it might have to do with you, or it might have to do with someone else. And so I feel like in some way they are taking a really hard look at their life, and they're coming to terms with certain things, and they're deriving certain conclusions about the way things should have been done and the way that things have been done. The next card represents your take in a situation. What is your situation? What is your position on things? Where are you going from here? The next message is the Three of Cups. And so I feel as though you are not really easy to convince at this time. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on your ambitions. You're excited about the new prospects. It feels like you've got a new lease on life. And so I think that you're excited about the new direction that you're taking, and you don't necessarily, you're not necessarily so open to going back to difficult times with difficult waters, you know. You're not really kind of that open to revisit such a perilous place, because it costs you time, it costs you money, it costs you a lot of like exhaustion in certain things. So let's see the next card. This represents this person or the love situation around you in Venus retrograde, and they're trying to figure out a solution. I think that they, in a certain sense, need to overcome themselves. So the solution usually is within arm's reach away, right? And so I think that they need to overcome the way that they think about doing things. But that's a really hard thing to do, to come outside of yourself and take a hard look at yourself and be like, whoa, you know, this, because it changes so many different things when you realize that. And so I feel like Virgo knows this, and it's like, yeah, I've known this all along. I've been telling you this all along, and you've been just wasting time. And I think that when a Virgo feels like their time's been wasted to a certain point, they just have to dip. They just have to leave the situation and get happy again, because we sympathize with people to no avail. And sometimes, and I know this personally, you can take like months out of your life, years out of your life sympathizing with people, and then it's like, and then what, you know, like what's the outcome of all this? So I think that this is like Virgo saying, nope, sorry, see ya, or like, nope, sorry, like that's enough of that, like figure out your stuff, but don't come back to me. Or depending on your situation, I mean, Virgos do take people back, but I do feel like at the present moment, that person is figuring things out in a heavy way. They're trying to, like, how do you actually make wrongs right? How do you build back time? And, you know, I think that they're very confounded. Whoever you're dealing with, they're very confounded with very heavy thoughts, and they can't lift themselves out of it. And I think that's a very dark place. It's a very hard place, because you can pretend that you don't have it, but that's denial. That's a whole other layer to that onion, right? But if you're really altruistically facing these fears and facing these heartaches that you're dealing with, or that they're dealing with, that can take years, you know, for someone to emerge out of that and find a good solution that works for them. So that's what you're dealing with. I think you know that, Virgo, and I think that you're just like really assessing, and you're appreciating what the circumstances really are, you know. So here are two pieces of advice. So Wheel of Fortune, life is going in your direction and in your favor. There will be fast change and action. So it's time that you really use your time and energy wisely. The Fool is here, you know, the Two of Wands. It's like you have vision about good directions. The next card is the Ten of Rods. And so you're also extremely busy through this time. Venus retrograde in the third house means that everybody is coming out to connect with you. Everybody, especially childhood friends, brothers and sisters, cousins, whatever. They're all really like lining up for you, you know, to kind of reach out. And then the second house in November is going to be very busy with financials. So I think that you have your plate stacked. Let's see what the advice is for Mr. Lover Boy or Miss Lover Girl. So we have the Judgment card, making a direct decision about things. I think that they're really kind of coming to terms with the fact of how their behavior has affected other people. And here is the next message, Ace of Pentacles. This could be an offer. This could be an offer towards something. A big decision is going to be made, and there's going to be some kind of gesture that is made. I presume that for many of you, this will be an offer of love. This will be an offer of something substantial, like let's move in together, let's be a serious couple, let's get married, whatever it is. I think that that's really coming through. I think a person will just have a really hard look at what they've been going through, and there's going to be like an outcome for that. The outcome is the Four of Wands. So if you are looking for love and marriage, I think that that's available for you at this time, Virgo. This is also, by November, you will spend a lot of downtime trying to figure out things. You will be extremely busy through November. Just understand that however busy you are now, it's just going to increase and increase from here on in. So what you need to do is really be mindful of that energy and be pragmatic about it. Saturn is in Virgo's 5th house, and so this leaves us in a predicament. We kind of like Saturn in our 5th house because we like the energy that it brings. As Virgos, it's like pragmatic. It's not necessarily a fun transit, but a Virgo can't have fun unless things are completed. Our minds are too aware, hyper aware of the things we need to do. So until things are actually done, there's no rest for relaxation. So when Saturn comes into the 5th house, things become much more methodical, much more organized. And so that way we can get in touch with the things that we can do, and then our priority lists become much easier to manage, right? So I feel like, in a sense, that you do have room for some downtime. You have some room for some kind of relaxation, and I think it's necessary. And I think that we'll talk about this in the Vimeo more, but I think it's necessary, and I think that it's a part of your balanced energy. Jupiter will be moving in November into your 4th house of home and family. That means expansion of home, opportunities in home and family life, and I think that you're going in good directions with that. So whatever it is, it's like you're handling it well. I like how this card is called Put Down Your Burden. I know it's a little fuzzy because I can't have autofocus on with my old computer, but anyway, put down your burden and just you're handling it with care. This is easily a Virgo. She kind of looks like Lady Gaga, doesn't she? Like, she's kind of fabulous that way. But yeah, put down your burden, allow things to transform around you. If this person comes through with a sizable offer, with like a reasonable offer, then yeah, then follow through and kind of consider that if you feel so inclined. I do feel like you're looking at it, but I think that they're going to have to, in some way, now that they've mucked things up so much, they have to kind of come over to your camp and kind of contend with what you're dealing with a little bit. So it's not necessarily like fun and romance. It's like, come help me work because I'm up eyeballs deep. Anyway, so whatever it is, I think that outcome is good. This is often called the marriage card, I have to say, for some of you who are eager. Marriage card, family card, the home card. So I think that in some way this is an opportunity. Recharge your hopes, take downtime, make sure that you rest and sleep through this period. It's not only astrological, it's physiological. Then in November, October, and even December, people really need to sleep more because it's that hibernation season where it's darker more, our bodies need more rest, and that will get you really well set up for spring. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us or joining me. We're going to take a look at the 3 cards on Vimeo. I'm excited for this now. Hey girl, hey. I love this, Jupiter. So Jupiter's coming into my 1st house. I'm so stoked. It's so great. I'll talk to you guys soon, and have a wonderful Venus retrograde. Take care. Bye. Hi Aquarius, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to be here with you guys today, and I hope you guys had a wonderful October, or you're having a wonderful October. And let's talk about November. So this is your spread from Vimeo. We're going to break that down and explain all the astrological aspects of it so you know what to expect from all the different signs. Then we're going to break down the astrology, transit by transit. There's a lot in November. And then finally, I'll do a quick Celtic cross to kind of explain all the energy, and hopefully that answers all of your questions. If I could get you guys to comment, to like the video, and make sure to get that bell going by the subscription box. That is what will get you notifications about my videos, so go check those out. There's a lot of really good videos coming out in November for the nodal change, Venus going direct, Jupiter in Sagittarius. There's a lot. It's a big party, so we're going to talk about those separately. And this is a lot, and this is a really good message of hope. Just as a shortcut, on Vimeo, this is where I do the extended reading. It's kind of like a preparatory reading. I choose the order there. It's all good. So just go into the Vimeo pages, and if you want to get the whole package, I'm pretty sure I will have at least 2 videos for Aquarius in November there. I'll throw in another video later on for probably Jupiter and Sag or something. I'll make it creative. But for your purposes, why don't we talk about the astrological aspects you're dealing with. If you're dealing with an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you may find that they are distancing themselves from you at this time. It may not be a big deal. They may just be going their own way. They may be up to something, not like up to something. They just might be doing something like in a new direction, focused on a project. November's busy time, right? We're all getting ready for the holidays, and people are trying to round out their year, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. If you're dealing with a Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, most likely the energy that they will extend to you has a lot to do with maybe they need help in which you have to help them, or maybe it's that boring relationship you're ready to move past. You're both fixed signs, so Tauruses and Aquarians don't always get on, but sometimes they do, and when they do, it's good. Okay? With Geminis, I feel as though you're making long-term plans. Air signs are each other's best friends. It's coming up in the readings. I just did Gemini before I did yours. Random pick. 2 air signs. Just really clear energy between the air signs. With a Cancer, somebody who has Cancer transit, Sun, Moon, or Rising, may be really open and may be in some way protective of you and your interests. This person may be a love interest that you have to open your heart to. If you're dealing with a Leo, I feel as though they're giving you a lot of positive energy, a lot of vitality. They're giving you a lot of spunk. The North Node transits on the 16th from Leo to Cancer in your 7th house. I'll show you guys in a minute. But what that means is that this is like your final focus point for Leo for quite some time. So if you have Leo friends or Leo connections, really enjoy your time with them. Make some time to spend time with them, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay? Venus, Mars, prominent Leo transits. With Virgos, you may feel as though you're in conflict. You may not be on the same page. That's me internally in November. I can feel that coming. Not on the same page. You may have tried to make a point you may have tried to make a point or resolve the situation, but it's really, at this point, it's not going anywhere. Again, you don't necessarily have to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but maybe take it easy with that transit, okay? Or with Virgo sign, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So when we're talking about Libras, there could be a Libra who, Sun, Moon, or Rising, who solicits you for attention, who solicits you for help. And this, or you may be asking them for help. However, your position is really strong in November, so I'm thinking that maybe this is you being asked to help rather than the other way around. There could be long-term karmic issues with a Libra that are getting resolved, especially things to do with help and support and helping each other out in some way. With Scorpio, love with Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. That's all I'll say. But love, really understanding energy between two people, being on the same page and having a heart-based connection. With Sagittarians, home energy, home, comfort, stability, energy you can trust. Capricorns, all earth signs this month, be careful. Except this guy, the Knight of Pentacles. He seems as though he's a pretty good energy, bringing good luck into your life. This could be a man or a woman. But this Queen of Pentacles, be careful. I feel as though this is a friend you should probably take a step back from because of jealousy issues. One or both people may be coming together in a relationship with someone and you don't want to step on each other's toes. Sometimes when people like relate to one another as life changes in their path, they have their way of making sense of their situation through their friend's experience, and then everything becomes sort of a mess. And so what you need to do in this situation is maybe allow some breathing room to save a friendship, because there could be feelings that are unspoken, either from your side or from theirs. And so maybe this is a time to, you know, just allow the energy to breathe. And then with Aquarians, or your energy, is you need to wait and chill. If you see you have 4 5s on this table, and I think that what it means is that there's energy around you pressing down on you both sides, and this is relics of the past. You coming into November, it may have been a shitstorm. September, October, pretty much you're smiling through it, but Lilith is in your first house. We'll talk about the astrology in a minute, but it could be feeling not like you want it to. So you come into November, good things are suddenly, the red carpet is basically rolled up in front of you, and you in some way need to wait for all the things to clear out that are unnecessary, okay? Pisces, powerful connection with Pisces. Starting a business, good energy. Love energy with Pisces, really, really good. Water signs are like your go-tos this month, and I think that you'll have a really good continual connection in that direction. And then that's it. So that's the signs. Just remember, think sort of abstract. If it's not that sign, then it could be, you know, something connected with that sign, or that sign is leading you into the energy. So be attentive, pay attention to your environment. So now we're going to do the astrology, and so I'll explain all the transits to you guys, and for each transit we'll pull a few cards just to get more clarity. Yes? Okay, so let's take a look at your transits. So we have, this is your chart. I know it's a little gibbled because, you know, whatever. Mercury retrograde. November, it's true. I'll tell you guys about it in just a minute. So what we're going to do is let this go on its own. So this is going to be automated. As you can see, the moon starts in Leo with the North Node finishing its transit in Leo of your 7th house. If there's some partnership thing that you need to really finish up, do it now. But let's start with Uranus in Aries. Uranus now moves into Aries, going retrograde at your IC. So this is to do with communication, things that you were never able to say before. You may be able to say now about your life, about your circumstances, about the people around you. Let's pick 3 cards. We have the 6 of Rods, okay? And then we have the 10 of Pentacles, and then we have the 6 of Cups. So this could be to do with siblings or other types of energies that in some way you were not able to communicate with before. And so now you have more of an ability to communicate the energy, communicate what you want out of situations and out of relationships. Really let them know what you want and what you expect out of your relationship with them. I feel as though this is a personal overcoming. You come to terms with an aspect of yourself, share it with your family, share it with your soulmates, and you in some way communicate what you want. And this is that out-of-the-box thinking. Something you never thought you would say or could say, you're going to say it now. So it's a positive and good energy. I slowed down the transit. Well, let's see if I can get it going. I don't want it to start flying through the sky for me, but we have the moon moving into a new moon in Scorpio. That's going to be at about 12 degrees on November 7th. That's going to be in your career. We'll do a dedicated reading if I have time for that, but new moon in Scorpio. if I did every single reading for every single transit this month, we would have so many. We can't do it. I'm forbidding it, but I'll do the best I can. Just so you know, new moon in Scorpio, new career movements, opportunities, really a good time. It's a window of opportunity between the 7th of November and the 16th, when Mercury goes retrograde in your 11th house. So you already see Mercury creeping up in your 11th house. So if you want to make an initiative with regard to your career, this is the time that you do it. Let's see some cards for your career. The Five of Swords, again, that was really prominent in your other reading. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So I feel as though there could be this energy in which there could be misunderstanding, and energy is moving away, and I feel as though the right thing is said at the right time in order to make peace in a situation that would otherwise be precarious. This could be the new moon energy, kind of rectifying, resolving, or improving on an energy that would have gone awry. This can also mean somebody sticking up for you in a situation where the situation wasn't really doing anything for you, and so, let's see, now we're going too slow. Sorry, this is new. Well, not new, but you know, Bobby couldn't do it. Anyway, so here we go. So we're heading to the new moon. Now you can see it. And so this is, I feel like this is someone sticking up for you and making peace with the situation, and that has to do with the new moon. Jupiter moves into Sag. We're right here. We're here for it on the 8th of November. And so I feel like this will give you a year of friendship. Remember how about a year ago when Saturn was in Sagittarius, suddenly Aquarians had no friends? And that's weird, because Aquarians are very friendly. You guys are fun, you know, all that stuff. I feel like Saturn in the 11th house really kind of took like a bowling ball and knocked everything off the wall. But it was good because everybody who needed to go did leave. And so now this is the transit that is going to bring more people and more situations into your life. One of my favorite transits of Jupiter is in Sagittarius. I'll do a dedicated reading for that, but just to see the general energy, we have the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, the moon. So the Queen of Swords is someone who you may be talking to this month, like someone with whom you can really find a bond with. And then we have the Justice card, bringing balance to circumstances, to feelings that may have felt. That Saturn transit may have left you feeling away, feeling as though maybe there was some degree of misunderstanding with situations, or maybe you have felt, maybe it affected the way that you see people altogether, your impression of people. And so I feel like in November, with Jupiter moving into your 11th house, which it did right here, hey? So there it goes. And there's the moon as well. You will have an opportunity to bring balance and cohesion to any kind of murky feelings that you have towards friends, okay? Or friendship in general, not specific friends. Mars is moving into Pisces, which I like so much. I like Mars in Aquarius, but I like Mars in Pisces, and I like Lilith is already off my chart. I don't want to see her anymore. Girl, bye. We're done. Bye, Felicia. You know, see you later. So she's here somewhere, and Mars is about to head over into Pisces on the 15th of November. That's going to be in your 2nd house. That's going to give you a 4-week transit of money. Let's see what it brings. Money. The Devil is money. The Hanged Man, self-sacrifice, and the Queen of Swords. You could, but I don't think you will, do something that's shady in order to make more money. I don't think you're going to do it. I think that there's too much reverence for karma, too much reverence for spirituality, but somebody's tempting you with an offer. You will regret if you do it. You should really stick to the moral high ground. You'll do fine without it, even though it may feel as though you really need to, you know, like it seems like a good offer, but it really isn't. The next message is for Venus going direct on the 16th. So we have a huge shift on the 15th and the 16th. On the 16th, we have Venus moving direct in Libra. This is in your 9th house of ideas. So suddenly you're going to have a much clearer mind. I think things will get to you until about the 16th. So if you're feeling bogged down by Lilith in your first house, if you're getting irritable, you feel kind of under a cloud, or like you want to be under a rock, don't worry about it. After the 15th, things will get better. So we have the Page of, somebody's been saying stupid stuff and it's gotten under your skin. The Two of Rods, you have new perspectives you're deliberating about, and the High Priestess. So I feel as though, yeah, someone, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra possibly, is been saying things, or you've been hearing certain things and they have not been positive and they have soured your mood. And I feel as though you are taking a new look at things and you're learning from it. So when Venus moves direct, it's going to clarify, like all the spilled milk, all the sour grapes. I think that those are going to be resolved and you're not going to feel any way about it. And then we have Mercury retrograde, hey girl, hey, in your 11th house. So all these friends are coming in, and then Mercury goes retrograde on the 16th. So watch now, because we're here on the 15th. So you're going to start seeing these changes of, there's Venus going station, here's Mars about to move into Pisces, and we have Mercury about to go retrograde. So in your 11th house, all these new friends are hitting you up. They're like, yo, Aquarius, how have you been? Where have you been, buddy? This is a time to kind of bite your lip, bite your tongue. And I feel like you will do better by saying less until the first week of November. Just let them trickle in and don't start. I think there's a lot behind what you have to say to people. So because you've been kind of alienated for a while now. And so with Jupiter coming in, it's bringing the whole party along. And so you may have, a person who's been kind of like cabin feverish, and then like you talk to them and they have like a million things to say. So don't be that person. I know it feels good to finally make a human connection, but I feel like that will probably not do good for your social life. So let's see what we have for Mercury retrograde. 6 of Cups. You'll be so excited by the people who come in. These people are going to be so nice, and soulmates, good connections, happiness, the Fool, a new beginning, bright new adventure, new beginning, and the 7 of Pentacles. So Rome wasn't built in a day, specifically what I said. You're embarking on new friendships, new connections, out with the old, in with the new, and I think that you'll need to do some kind of long-term planning, maybe some long-term financial planning as well through this transit. How are you going to, do you have money to do all those things with all your new friends? Maybe start thinking about how you're going to save to kind of do the trips and the events that you want to, okay? The last thing and the biggest thing or change on in November is the nodal change, and we'll do a dedicated video for that for sure. But here is already the North Node went from Leo to Cancer, and from Aquarius. Thank goodness. You're going to feel so relieved on the 16th when the South Node moves into Capricorn, not Taurus. What this means for you is that the emphasis of external relationships and an emphasis on what you are achieving and on what you are working on behind the scenes. So you've done a lot of purging, a lot of catharsis. It's almost like you've been through like a process. You've gone on a retreat, you've gone to an ashram, maybe you've done like some kind of huge transformational workshop, and you go insane if you have to do that all the time. And you've been at it for a while, I would say 3 years. And I think that now you can start beginning applying that energy towards the work. Like, where can you find success? Where can you find like movement forward? I'm about to show you guys the cards for that transit, but just pay attention to the moon as it forms a full moon in Gemini. Okay, so here we go. 3 cards for the nodal shift. we have the Nine of Wands, the Hierophant, and we have the Nine of Cups. So you've worked hard. It's going to pay off. More work is needed. This is also spirituality. This is a spiritual house. So you become a spiritual authority for the next 14 months. So whatever things you need to do to transform yourself to get that experience, then please do so. Here we have on November 22nd, the Sun moving into Sagittarius. Hey girl, hey. This is going to be a fun time, but remember, zip it until December when Mercury goes direct. And right after the Sun moves into Sagittarius, we have a full moon on the 23rd in Gemini, which is in your 5th house. So for those of you guys who are in a relationship, things might get steamy. If you have a crush, remember all those cards I was showing you? This is your red carpet. This is your path forward. Full moon on the 23rd. Really nice energy there. What was I seeing? Oh yeah, there's a square on Mars and Neptune. It might put some of the things that you want to do may put pressure on your finances. So it's really a good idea to save your money so that you can really put forward that energy towards like spending time with friends or, you know, going on an outing and applying yourself. The 5th house is also children, so this is like real deep bonds evolving with kids. 3 cards there for the full moon: the Queen of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 8 of Cups. So this is the Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I was telling you to be careful with her. This is competing energy. Both of you are going through a good thing in your lives, but I feel like making sense of it with each other is going to kind of break it down a little bit, and there could be a competitive edge to things, so you don't necessarily want this energy around too much. However, what we're seeing here, this could be like a person you're interested in with whom you have a romance or a romantic relationship, or it could be also a friend, and this could be a man or a woman, but I think you should be careful for that friend that's the earth sign, female. And in terms of the masculine energy, I think that there is a possibility of some kind of union, although I'm seeing much more a water sign for you than a earth sign. So I feel as though an improvement in a new direction and a happy union with someone else, you know, kind of heading off in a new direction. This is for the full moon in Gemini. We'll try to do a dedicated video for that. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, it looks, you know, pretty over the top, pretty good luck for love and relationships. This does not mean dump your friend. It just means take a step back, okay? So that you don't ruin what you have going on for yourselves and each other. The last transit we have is Neptune direct in Pisces here it's stationed in your 2nd house, and so that's on November 24th, and that happens. Neptune in the 2nd house is good for creative things, such as I'll make money doing this or I'll make money doing that, especially when Mars is involved. Be careful of pipe dreams. So things that you think you'll make $1 million on that require $10,000 for you to in some way invest, and you know, it kind of blows up in your face. So be careful for that. And I feel as though there is Chiron retrograde here moving in. So financially be careful, be consistent, be grounded, turn to your earth sign friends to help to ground out that energy. Run away from the water signs. Don't let them fool you, because I think it's good for the creative, but it's not necessarily so strong for the practical. You don't want to get involved in things that are going to have huge overhead, those kinds of things. You have the 2 of Cups for Neptune direct, and then you have the Emperor, and then we have the 5 of Pentacles. So love can make you have some financial setbacks, it looks like. So you want to make sure that your business does not get mixed up with emotions, and that this is that card that showed up in your Vimeo reading. I showed it to you guys right there and explained it pretty well here. You don't have to get the Vimeo to understand that there is going to be some kind of bar that you have to reach about coming together with other people towards, sorry about that, towards finding some kind of common ground, some kind of success. So you have to work with other people in order to address things that you will not necessarily have money to pay for out of pocket alone. Two heads is better than one, so are two pocketbooks, okay? So now let's take a look at your tarot. So that was the astrology. Let me know how you guys liked it down below. Make sure to comment and like, because as you guys know, this is a lot of work. This is the Blanco Narrow deck. You guys know I really, really like it, so I hope you do too. It's a Celtic cross that we're going to do, no big deal. And I'm going to go through it rather quickly because I just took on more but the whole video I'm excited about. I hope you guys like it. It's a little variety show, hey? Your center card for the month is, and we'll have lots of readings in November, so just hold tight. Three of Pentacles is encouraging you to work really, really hard, and I think that the work that you put into things will have outcome in time. Don't do things for immediate gratification this month. Look towards long-term outcomes. Then the Nine of Swords. Backtracking because you feel guilty is not going to yield for you a good outcome. I feel like, Aquarius, you will find great resolution to things by just really not being spooked by those things. Remember all those cards to the side I mentioned? They're not going to get you to where you need to be. Those are things of the past. They're still around because you're still moving past that energy, but it's not something, you should not get bogged down by things like this. And if you do have things like this that come up, you should kind of leave them in the past because you have good things on hand to celebrate about your life. At the top you have the Eight of Wands, encouraging messages from friends and allies. So I feel as though people really have your back. They want to see you succeed. And I think that there's people who are making sure that bad energy is not coming in and interfering with your workflow and energy. Below the surface, we have the Five of Cups. So these are the fives I was telling you about. In some way getting bogged down emotionally with other people's dramas, other people's situations. This came up for you, if I remember right, this came up for you for the Divine Feminine. And what that means is that don't try to mend relationships with women. It's not the right timing. The energy is not right to mend relationships. I think that this is a good energy to have a positive heart-to-heart with someone who you are on the same kind of position with, but it's not a good energy in terms of mending a relationship or trying to rehash things, even though Venus is retrograde. But I feel like that's much more passive energy in which you're supposed to pay attention to your environment, not try to solicit a conversation. Mercury is retrograde from the 15th or the 16th of November. So from mid-November, and even from the beginning, it's like you could say something and you think you're being witty. Aquarian, you know, I have an Aquarian moon. You could be saying something, think you're being witty, and it comes out wrong. And with so many cards of disappointment and angst and worry, I feel like maybe you can mean to say something in like a laissez-faire fashion, like you don't really care, but maybe actually it will come across subconsciously in a way. So just keep it simple, sweetheart, and allow the positive energy in, and really edge away from any kind of disappointments. You'll have an opportunity to address them in the future. This is just not the time or place. In the past, you have the Empress. This is the energy of motherhood or mother. And so I feel as though, yeah, just allow things to be. I feel like maybe in the past a woman has said something to you, a mother has said something to you, and her saying that to you has in some way been like a final stamp, a final seal of something that meant it was something to do with you, not in terms of a relationship with her. It was something that you heard that made you aware, painfully aware, that the time is now, and it was kind of like a marker point. The queen, the empress, also communicates. She's Venus, right, at the top of your chart. Let me show you. She's Venus up here, right, in Libra, at your MC, telling you this is the way you have to go. And sometimes it's kind of that tough love saying you have to go this way or else, you know, and it's maybe hard to hear, but I think that you're taking the advice and you're going in the right direction. I think you're going to listen. So this is the upcoming energy. I'm going to hold this kind of hidden for now, and then we're going to take a look at you. You have the Three of Cups. So overwhelmingly positive energy, a joyful month, one of celebration, maybe some time with friends, maybe some time with social gatherings. So it doesn't look as though there's all this kind of stuff going on behind the scenes. Remember, in your chart, this one you won't see as easy, so let's just try it. But oh yeah, you can see it. You have the South Node, Pluto, and Saturn. This is kind of like behind, think of Wizard of Oz. This is the wizard behind the curtain, right? So this is what's actually making everything work. And so I feel like you are seeming like you're having fun, but this is where the hard work is going in. This is why you're going through this, because the South Node moves into here and it's like, boom, here's your karma. This is all the stuff you need to work through now. Enjoy. And you will enjoy. It'll make you happy. So social gatherings, you're definitely having fun. Invitations, you know, people like you, they want you around. Hey girl, hey. So I think that energy is available, but there is this kind of, you're working through certain feelings, you know, and you have to accept that people are the way they are, and it is what it is. Around you, the Knight of Pentacles. See, he's got your back. The Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, a friend, an ally, a brother, a sister, a romance interest. When we have Jupiter in the 11th house, this is your 11th house of Sagittarius, so Jupiter moving into this house, that's a really wonderful time for finding a relationship. Become in love with your best friend, or find a relationship with your best friend. So maybe this is the person who's always been around, you know. The next energy is the Page of Swords. Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. You're worried for them acting foolish. You're worried that they're going to act foolish and that you're going to have to deal with it. And you're like, I have enough things to worry about. I want to get my work done. I want to see my way through. I want to be successful. I don't want to deal with your BS. The outcome is the Seven of Rods. Sticking to your guns, seeing your way through it, finding success in situations. Sorry, I should have showed you this before. And we have the Knight of Swords. Gemini, you're going to go towards your goals and be successful. That's that, you know, carpet, the aisle you're going down to avoid all the problems. Problems at all sides, but you have your eye on the prize and you're going to make sure to get it. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. We're going to do more tarot readings throughout the month, but I thought I'd give you a little sample. Oh, on the bottom, here we go. We have the Temperance card, Sagittarius, Ten of Pentacles, and the Vimeo card. That's the card of family and marriage. So I feel like you know what you need to do. You can't let the petty things of your own life slow you down, and you definitely can't let the small things of other people's lives slow you down. You are on a clock and the time is running out, and for all of us, and so you have to make sure that you have your focus in the right direction. And that's the message of the Empress. It's like, if you blink, you'll miss it, you know? Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful month. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.